T-Con, let's get loud. We are jumping into the map. We were caught off, but let's get going. Fragadelphia 19 and its train.
I already love it there. Kisser actually already tagged up. He's down just a little bit off the back of some nades. Flay down to 62. And it's just going to be a slow creep out in through T-Con. Contact happens. It's already the dualies popping off here. The USPs find some kills. And M80 already in the blink of an eye into a 3-on-2.
Flay's going to get this bomb planted. The only one finding frags needs to do a little more. Innocent by his side. You've got all of this working in your favor right now if you are M80 with the numbers game and the utility having dwindled with Flay on a little over half HP, but they're all waiting to get into place. But if, oh, whoa, hold on though, as the more that you wait, you let them get into maybe a better space themselves. They pop out, it's Flay for a third. Swisher, a tap to the bomb, but it's not gonna be the full hold. He's going to have to run this in, and he doesn't have a kit, and unfortunately he doesn't have enough HP on him when he's having his head removed. It's KOLESIE in the final with the first.
Already seeing a nice vocal response as we're already into a nice little 1-0 start here for the Pistols. And we're already into a tech pause. I'm going to go ahead and assume it's a tech pause because it does seem like, oh, popping in some extra gum, getting a little struggling here.
Yeah, how are you doing? Are you good with that? Did I mess your audio up?
No, I don't know what I'm.
I could hear my breaths. They were booming for a second.
Yeah. What? Hext has a different jersey than the others.
Oh yeah, we had that shipped here. Isn't that cool? Do you like it? I love it. Okay, he loves it. That's all we're trying to do is please. Dual Berettas right now, even ever so blinded, has vision for long enough, and that's really important in a kind of no man's land space when the smoke does fade, late getting his one. You'd think with that 3 versus 2 would have been enough for them, but Flay getting off to the start that we had seen him finish on yesterday. His nuke was absolutely incredible.
I'm just excited because Kisser already look like a very loud team, and against players like Lake and Hex, I think it's gonna get good fast.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna have to start to move a little faster if we are M80 because a slow start is not what you'd like to see. This being the map pick of KOLESIE, though, maybe they have a little bit more in their wheelhouse than we were led to believe initially in the pre-show, giving already a pistol round. The rifle rounds are where it's going to get interesting, but we're going to be kind of chilling right now for M80. I mean, not really doing a whole hell of a lot. Just playing close to our bomb sites, having invested into this one with smokes primarily is our utility focus. They're going to look to stuff as well as maybe play off of one another as best they can inside T-Con.
How do you feel about this new meta of umps? Second round.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see and find how it actually performs. They're actually gonna bail out from that one. They're gonna throw up one smoke deeper on, another one given over to Swishers. So that's gonna be 40 seconds they can delay. It's gonna come back to about the 25-second mark, unless, of course, KOLESIE want to just go through.
They are just dedicated to T-Con right now. With 45 seconds left, I mean, it is gonna come down to the last second. But I mean, that seems to be par for the course for a lot of these teams with the slow executes. It seems like there's no gray area anymore, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Flash over top, but they're not going to move. It's actually going to be a little bit of fake. It's actually they're going to be running straight to back hauls, not down pop, but instead over to B.
So many players here. So many players here. The first of them with a 5-7. The dink is easy. The chest shot even easier than that. The UFP just crouches and holds the line. Thanks for the extra damage, says Sin. I'll ensure that his death is swift and painless. And M80 ensuring that this grand final is not getting off without a couple of fireworks.
Well, maybe second round ump is a potential new meta change here because that was a great hold. Of course, the 5-7 doing exactly what the 5-7 does. Gets those dinks in, takes away some of that health from the armor. The ump easily finishing them off. Even we saw a little bit of team damage there from KOLESIE as well. So maybe not, maybe that spacing struggling a little bit there, but it is, you know, when you're kind of just rushing that execute out on towards ramp, it tends to get a little sloppy sometimes.
Yeah, timeout. Again, I said that Spiro needed maybe to get a little bit more involved this time today, as yesterday he didn't really have to do a whole hell of a lot. They had the reins kind of in hand the entirety through the way with Blue Jays, but M80, a different story perhaps, already falling short to what was an eco round, one that they've not really honestly dropped too many as well in this entire tournament, so that's going to be a little bit of an oopsie given this is only map number 1, and oh, we're locked in. Dude, is that Kisserek? He's kissing his monitor more like.
He is in full gamer slouch mode at this point. That can't be good for the spine, in all honesty.
Yeah, but it's good for frags.
Obviously.
Yesterday he was proving it.
You know, yeah, what am I doing? All you can see is his forehead on the cam. It's kind of comical. But, I mean, there's got to be a rhyme to it, right? I mean, if it works, it works, and it's working for that guy. Just not right now, though. 0-2, but he looks to change that one up as Hex is going to get challenged early going through the ramp, but he's already going to get pushed down. Tech Knives are obviously going to get those kills because that's what they're good for. Close range rundown. It's going to be back into a 4-4 post plant. Flashes, Molly go out, smokes, everything. A little bit of everything. Already gone, dissipated. And it is going to be now the retake here for M80.
Yeah, well, they get this one in the last, and they didn't even get to get into the bomb site with the better weaponry. This time they're looking a little better than even that. On the next side of the train, Innocent, he'll show his face, and he's got another one just by the second side. Will they be ready for it? I don't think so. They're going to play off of one another, and Kisarek, although he may be close to his monitor, smells the competition, and maybe have to make their way through the backlines. They may go for a save at some point, unless they get a kill. The AK eventually does, but the kit only on Sin. That's them. They're out of there. It's another one back and forth. We'll go.
It's definitely something I've seen a lot more out of teams when, you know, now that CT side is a viable option here to kind of force buy in a little more often, especially on a map like Train where it is CT sided. You get a lot of back and forth, and then it comes down to, you know, the old-fashioned who puts 2 rounds in a row first, wins and resets the other team's money. And KOLESIE with a quick run out. I mean, Hex doing the best he could, drop some molly, get some good molly damage in, but that's really it.
It's a little awkward to me that I didn't see who the name was, that they're walking through Z there before their teammates have even actually gotten back through the line of CT spawn to see if anybody was getting close enough to them. So that's maybe a little bit antsy in trying to get back to the site, whereas in the last they were more composed.
I assume maybe he just wanted to hurry up and get out and try and cut off that rotate back towards the spawn, but instead just falls right into the trap. And here we go, in for the backhauls take again. Bomb is looking to rotate its way in towards Pop Dog, but they're going to have to go through Swisher and quite the firing squad as they're going to go for a little information play in towards T-Con, but that long, arduous lurk all the way through Ivy could be a late game problem.
Sobol and this MAC-10 are going to be grouped with another pair of them in trying to gain some space and use this weapon with a little bit of pace. Swisher's going to be the first to spot him, if at all. That incendiary will hit his toes. He will tick out. Unknown whether or not it will be heard, but regardless, it stagnates this push. It's 50 seconds just about when they're going to be able to go through this one on a flash timer if they would. They set them up outside of T-Con. They're yet to go through, but their smoke's on 2 different prongs. Yeah, this is going to get awkward, frankly. Try your best. The B site worked out pretty well, but you would never really be prepared for this buy to be better than the one of the previous Hex. On an MP9, though, the only one relegated to anything, but it's going to be a last-second execution met by an off. Sayonara Kisarek, and the first of them, the healthiest, with the weaponry to go with it. The AK-47's yet to have any impact for it, and they'll have none. No, thank you, not today. We're not buying what you're selling unless it's the round. M80 for 2. And given that they had perhaps let that one loose in the previous to save, that gives them the room to buy further beyond.
Well, the back and forth continues on here. And it does seem like this Galil will be saved, but big point is the fact that Swisher still has that no reinvestment realistically needed, which is a huge financial struggle off their shoulders. Keeping 5 alive obviously boosts that one, so even if they do start trading rounds back and forth, they should at least be able to buy again, which buy save. Instead now it's buy, force buy, force buy.
C'est la vie, such as Counter-Strike. Need to blow this smoke open, and the easiest kill of Lake's life. Thank you very much, Blind Kisarek, once more bumped from the round without really an opportunity to do much about it. Sit back, son. Continue to regain that energy for round number 6, because it ain't happening here. Close to the only player with anything other than a pistol. He's going to have to be the man on a mission, and right now it doesn't seem like he'll be able to do a damn thing. A sliver seen, perhaps, from Slacks. And that's all he'll need.
Give the man an inch, and he will go a mile. Shots through the deagle. It's Lake out of the round, playing that close angle in through T-Con. Sin tapping away, spots out a player. But now this bomb being brought back to its original state and reset. And it seems like KOLESIE want to go back to B.
Well, what they want,
Looks comfortable.
perhaps. What they want is pretty much a non-factor when it's more what M80 want. What M80 want is for them to go back. They've got things under lock and key in this direction. Rotations are very fast if need be, and Hexed T is pretty usually playing actually in this same cloud area, in which this time he doesn't have an SMG. He can afford to take a line. Fully automatic this time. And he's got Slacks to support, and he's already gotten himself on the board for this round. A bit of a miss onto the first, but a double zoom turned into a singular seems to be the better of the order. And no time to really plant with all the bodies around him. Needs to take care of a pair. Thank you very much. There's our round. There's a denied bomb plant, and although they will be back with a purchase, it won't be as great as they would have liked, and they haven't set themselves up exactly for the future.
For sure, and finally for the first time, one of these teams put 2 rounds in a row, so it does look like KOLESIE, without even a bomb plant, are going to be putting themselves into a save. I would assume, unless they just go the old force buy route, and I can't even blame people half the time for force buying Tech 9 armor nowadays, because it's just so effective, especially when you have people that can actually aim, but instead it's going to be Sin. The nice dry peek, he does some good damage. NATO or top to potentially slow them down. They pause and they wait for it, but they got to go through the fire and the flames and the ops and the AKs. One for each of them, but Sin to double down, Slacks to find another one. And that's exactly what they're saying. They're waiting for it, but it doesn't matter. Sin sprays them down. He finds 4.
Do not let them breathe on land. 10-1. See if he can match his deaths to the number in his name by the end of this map at the very least. It seems like he's taking control, and not even a shake or a shiver on bro. He gets that 4K and he nods his head. He's like, I do this. I've been doing this.
Yeah.
Dodge from the flash, dodge these bullets, brother.
10-1 already. Sin. Someone we actually didn't really bring up in this discussion, you know, kind of being a part of that international duo brought over for them. But now he's looking to kind of make up for lost times. He wants to show Swisher he can do it too. Maybe even better.
Four v 4 after these smokes have just popped up. There's no room to go for any trades. So now we're just going to be sitting in our own beds that we've made and awaiting the next move, the next phase in the plan from KOLESIE, who have utility enough to get into one of the 2 bomb sites, but that's effectively it. Their post plants are going to get a little bit difficult, but the retake also is going to hinge on how much M80 will hold. How conservative can they be? And will they take a timing here, Sobal, given that smoke was a little deep? I don't think so. I think that would be a major misstep in where nobody else is able to make a reactive play if it were to fail. Hold on, though, because as we hit deeper and deeper into this, exactly what I was referring to in terms of how much they can hold on to M80 is starting to dwindle. So they, too, may have a difficulty in retaking in comparison to the KOLESIE inability to toss nades to stop them from doing so. So it's going to be a war of attrition, the lesser of 2 evils. Sin, he may not have vision because there's a smoke, but he'll take a timing shot in through, but he'll meet his maker because Innocent sends it right back.
3-on-3 retake, and Slacks walks through smokes, finds the kill, but quickly traded in for a 2-on-2. 17 seconds left. M80 going to put some pressure on, maybe try and deny this bomb plant. Sprays through the smoke, tries to get through the attention, goes 1-for-1. Hexton in a 1-for-1 versus Flay. The man we've brought up a few times here with that very good, but it doesn't matter. M80 take the round.
He had a split-second turn to look on the other end of the E-box, but what he shows is a hip. I wish I only heard motherfucker, but you get the gist of it. That'll be enough.
That's all I wanted to hear.
That's all you need. What more do you need? At some point, you wonder what the language barrier will be when shit talk actually does come through, so old reliable.
Oh, good shots over there, too, as well. It did get close to that one-on-one, but that push to the smoke. Good timing. Does...
Holy...
Yeah, dude, Flay just, he's looking warm, but thankfully for NA and NA's fans, Hex, he's starting off just a step or 2 ahead.
And that's kind of the reaction that you saw from Flay on his screen, realizing that he made the misstep and knew it. He knew that something was afoot, and he had to make either a left or right-hand turn, and unfortunately in the 50-50, he knew that there was maybe a little bit more of an educated guess to be had. But he'll have more than enough time to try and rectify, as they've not yet been tied onto the half. A 6-round hold for M80 wouldn't be the worst thing in the world when they get their guns brought through. They've got Tech 9s, that singular AK-47 for Kisarek, who's starting to kick up a fuss. I mean, he hasn't really been doing a whole hell of a lot in this map, but now would be a better time than any. The B site's been a sweet spot.
It has been, and I would say almost a weak spot for M80. Hex usually playing that close angle, a little more reserved this time around, plays in towards site. Thomas side of default. As Hex inches way forward, sprays down one. It's the Tech 9s and AKs to push through here as they continue to find some kills here. 3-on-3. Swisher low. Swisher through the smoke actually gets the kill. And it's Flay and Kisrak last alive here. Bomb getting planted back all the way in towards default. It does seem like Slack's almost hitting the shot as they try and cross back over.
This is big from Flay. This position is going to be a make or break one, with that op already kind of honing in on where he may be from and up and down the ladder, one of which are trying to pull them off the oh no! Slacks misses the shot. I thought he might have been able to get out of the line, in which Flay pulls his Tech 9 as his M4A1S is out of ammo. You got to do something. Call upon Kisarek. That may be the doctor's order. Medicine administered, and Kisarek has arrived exactly as he needed to.
Kisarek delivering the kiss of death there to M80, and you know, right before the execute happened, he said, you know, a little quiet necessarily, and decides he wants to kind of sit up straight here, find himself a triple in the round two. Finally, for a little stretch of success there from M80, now starting to be qualmed.
And now Def's teaching them how to count. North American education doesn't always deliver, so
it's the hands, man.
Yeah,
they mean business. He's giving out knife hands,
but genuinely. Def, he's been around the block, man. All over the place. I mean, if we're going to talk about internationalism, this guy has been up and down as far as Counter-Strike is concerned, include his Valorant resume as well now.
He had a stint in Valorant?
Yeah.
How long?
A while. I think from probably from when everybody else started moving over. It wasn't long after, and he only just got back for this M80 roster to coach.
Hey, well, I mean, he's coached them good from the looks of it here. But we do see kind of what we glanced over before this whole execute happened on that B site. That B site hold, it looks a little flimsy. Even the rotates in through connectors should be quick, seemingly a little bit slower. By the time we see KOLESIE find themselves a kill already with the op of none other than Flay. He looks to start warming up his scope here as he looks for a second. Currently sitting 8-5. The nades go and flashes go raining down on top of him. Flashed off the angle. Swisher gonna be moving around towards camera. Good shots in towards Flay. Puts him down to just 2 HP. And thankfully for him, that molly doesn't spread late.
Sin out. Not the end of the world yet, but certainly worrying. Flay with that sniper rifle. He's going to be pretty happy that he's responsible for that role, given he's on 2 HP. Otherwise, it could have gotten awkward, but a late activation play from Hex could be a spoiler. They're both ready for the potential of it, but the timing is all that matters in this game, obviously. Counter-Strike, one of many, and turning his back without anybody actively going along with him. That's a misstep. That's a mistake. If they were going into this angle, Innocent or Kisarek needed to be by his shoulder facing the 90-degree opposite angle. And in now comes Flay. Once the 44 is here, they know what's happening. Almost a whiff from KOLESIE, but Lake... he will eventually go down, but still the jig may be up at 30 seconds left. Where the hell are they else to go? Oh.
Slacks. Oh, almost gets caught on the rotate. Gets mined out. Spots one running down towards ramp. It's going to be none other than Kisarek making his way out. Shots go out. Kisarek quick to fall, though, from Slacks. It's going to be a 2-on-3 retake. If M80 need to start doing this, they need to do it quick. We see that long re-rotate back in from... I don't even know who that is.
That's KOLESIE, I believe.
KOLESIE, the long rotate through back halls.
Flay naded. That low HP coming back. And getting a rifle, it seems KOLESIE, who also is now low, is going to have to be here on time. That rotation back warranted. Leaving his teammate on the bottoms of the site. The smoke is awkward, and there is a position in which Hex is ready for, and Slacks has his high ground. Both of them doing the job. 3 for the Canadian. A double for what very well may be one of the highest rated train games, I think, in this tournament so far from Sin. He's been doing a good job. He died early, but he can rely on everybody else, especially his AWP brethren, his countrymen from Germany. Thinking of what may come into this next round from KOLESIE, having gotten a bomb plant and kept them honest in their money, though, is the next step.
Well, it seems like tradition will continue forth here with the trading of rounds into a force buy. And that is what we're saying. It's not even like it's a bad force buy. Flay still has not. There's some Gleal's AK, and Soulboy down to just the Tech 9. Does have some utility, but KOLESIE are very light on the utility as of right now, unless they can recover some off the dead buys of these CTs. But of course, it's Flight to find that opening pick again.
Molly will burn just ahead of this pop dog area, but it was the CTs who hold on to it, so that's a lot for them to work with. But Sin's got to be careful. He's actually been tested early in this game to success, but elsewhere in the later stages, in the last few, he's actually fallen short from 10-1 to 10-3. So if he is going to go for anything here, he's going to maybe either need a flashbang in 8 or a teammate, and there goes the latter of them, and neither will find a thing. Swisher, he's still nearby just as well. He's going to have to make up for their shortcomings, and he might. A spray with ammo left in the gun. A clip, all that he'll need to be able to find 3. He pulls all the bullets and magnetizes them straight through the corpses of all of the KOLESIE members but 2, and slacks with it all to do. He's got a sniper rifle, though. This is not easy. All he has is the element of surprise.
But he's at least gambled the right site. Bomb plant out of his vision. And KOLESIE going to play this one correctly, shoulder to shoulder, as they look to, if one's going to die, one's going to swing. Now separating themselves just a little bit for a split second. It does give Slacks the ability to come in through that backhammer, going for the high ground position spot, pulls the utility, but fumbles it, and they're even going to be able to pick up that op in the process. And again, back and forth, round the circle we go. M80 timeout.
If they had unpeaked him there and he was allowed to get that nade off, he likely would have gotten one of the 2 players killed and knowledge onto the last of them. So it was an idea that may have worked out if KOLESIE weren't so damn hungry for a duel. More time to talk, more time to rein in, train. Again, reminder, KOLESIE's pick. So on to the next is where things get really interesting. We were kind of predicting this one, I think, both of us, to go more than 3. At least 4.
I mean, hey, as long as we at least get to overpass, I'm happy.
I'm really, really stretching for that, but for whatever it means for the victor of this, I'm unsure of. But Swisher doing all that he could in that moment, a highlight, absolutely. Movement is sublime. You can see that he's actually even bested the upper and where he was expecting the flick to hit. Micro adjustment off the mark, but now so too is the cash flow for M80, trying to budget themselves for the last and the 12th. His 5th for KOLESIE goes through. They're going to be pretty happy at a 6-6 half. That'd be beautiful. But flash through the smoke is Swisher. Everyone blind. Everyone unready. He gets a triple kill with the A1S. And it seems that you give him any damn weapon, including a 5.7, and the firepower will do. It's the wielder, the master of the weapon, it matters most.
Hexed even with the USP kill, and it's going to be Flay last alive 1-on-3, and he is terrified. He has an op, and all M80 have to do, once they get that position, do exactly what KOLESIE did just a round ago to Slack, shoulder to shoulder, double swing, play contact, and that's what we're seeing here. No scope comes through, and it's Lake to slam the door, gets the last kill, but that comes off a huge round from Swisher. Again, like you said, doesn't matter what you give him, he'll make it work.
Insane, man. Absolutely sublime coming out from Swisher, and he knows what he's just done. A smile at the end and a high five to left and right. They seem like they're re-engaged, and what is KOLESIE's deal with being unable to close against the lesser weaponry? That's where they're worst. It's unfortunate to say, but those kinds of rounds could have turned this game from a 7-4 right now for M80 to very well what could have been if both were converted the other way, a 7-4 for KOLESIE.
Indeed, and I mean, KOLESIE were in a very real position to have a really good T-half, and I say that, and Kisrak could have run through, but Slack's just too quick on the scope, gets that kill, and Kisrak maybe a little too aggressive.
Slacks turns on a dime to be able to help out. He's covered from the front side of T-Con, and yeah, I mean, sorry, brother.
Happens the best.
Sleep tight.
I mean, kind of like what I was gonna say before all that happened. 6-6 half was a potential for KOLESIE, and that's a great start potentially for their T side.
Yeah, things have gone sour at B before, not this time around. Bomb dropped. Hex not only getting 2, but staying alive and calling for the rest of the group before they can even punch in the code. There's an AK for Flay, but I don't really foresee him being able to do a whole hell of a lot. Hunger inside of Swisher overcomes. And the last of them includes who's obviously kind of quiet in the round in general. They don't know where bro's coming from, so check all your angles and hold all your flanks. That's the half.
And a great half. I would say great, good.
I'd say pretty great. I'd say pretty great in comparison to what could have been. Definitely.
Oh, for sure. I feel like this is kind of the standard scoreline, give or take a round or two to each side, what you would see on a map like Train. And, I mean, M80 look good. They look warmed up. Swisher obviously expected to be performing less. Hex, though, great. Kind of a hit or miss we've seen throughout this tournament, but a 13-4 sitting right now. And he seems like he's you can probably hear him how happy he can be sometimes.
These kinds of games scare me a little bit because Lake is at the bottom and they're winning. Because that's like a bad omen for the future if you're KOLESIE. Like, if you're waiting for Lake to come online and they're winning, then this best of 5 is going to feel like either a really long one for you or a really short one. But here comes the walk-up with the dual Berettas on a timer in which they find themselves pincering a number of Ts in which simply cannot be broken apart. They continue their onslaught up and through T-Con, dealing with the last in the lurk from Innocent, who found himself actually unattended to. And here comes Flay as well from lower, and expecting that just the same. Hex T's cerebral as ever, and they've gotten 9.
Well, M80 not letting their foot off the gas just yet, taking that pistol, but it's really the second round that tends to have the most impact after this one. I'm going to go ahead and assume KOLESIE is probably going to be forcing into this one, as one has been. And as long as these rounds don't get traded, M80 hit 10. I'd say they are on pace to close this one out quick.
Let's try something for fun here, guys. I want to do a little bit of a crowd experiment. I don't know how many of you are out there, but we're going to do something fun. When I say Hex, you say T. Hex. Hex. This has been Train in which he has absolutely lit the scoreboard on fire, surpassing Swisher even now. Positionally given room to work as the first in the upper towards Brown Hall's looking at Pop, given solo responsibilities, and where now he may have to group up to make their final hit later on with this boost. Problematic one I don't think that we've seen in this game yet. Could be potent. And with the weapon in particular, it could be even better.
I really like that angle. He's going to be able to see through that window first before the T's even think to look upward towards them. So he'll be able to spot out, I would think, probably the head of these M80 players if he goes unchecked, unscathed, and unflashed. We will see. M80 yet to determine if that's the route they want to take. They are kind of revitalizing their efforts in towards T-Con. We'll see if that's where they end. It's going to be... There it is, the shot. Pissrack finding the MP9 kill. The MAC-10, though, of Sin running down a player and quickly traded.
Yeah, this is going to be the next stage in this plan, requiring Flay to do something about this one. Puts them on a skewer and gets a head taken off, and a second following the shoulder. Sin, he needs to do something. He needs Hex to get around this bend, and as he can't, he misses some more shots, and that's where things get dangerous. But 20 seconds, AK-47's on 10 HP. Just about one shot, blow on them, and they'll fall. Collapsing is the first of them as Sin's long-range spray can't do a thing. Back into the game, or KOLESIE.
That's exactly what I mean about these two teams going up against each other. It's just trading the rounds. And the pistol's great. It's good to always win the pistol. You want to win it. It's just the second round that can really, really just kind of take your legs out from under you if you can't either A, win the round obviously, or B, get a good amount of kills. Now KOLESIE had themselves a good influx of money, people alive, weapons saved, picked up even, and they did even manage to grab that AK up.
Sin gets inside of all these nades in order to throw out his own. That's going to be him softened up significantly, but he was just going to be the ruse set initially because they're running it up through Ivy and unhurt. Nobody's actually ready for this. They're all looking towards T-Con even still, so it seems like the plan has worked out. They're going to overcome them. This is the nature of land, and this is the nature of M80 again pulling the wool from over their eyes.
Do you even bother if you're KOLESIE at this point? Do you just save these M4s and a Galil? Is that what you do? Because I feel like 5 alive on a forced buy Tech 9 armor. Yeah, they don't want any of that. And I wouldn't want it either, especially Lake, who we kind of pointed out was quiet. You said you were kind of scared about. Grant, Hex 17-5, Swisher 15-8, Sin 14-7, Slacks 9-7. That's op for you though. But Lake's now finding a triple in the round, and maybe he's found a little fire underneath himself.
Yeah, again, certainly wasn't really needed in order to look like they were on their way to winning the map, but when that starts to come through, when he starts to heat up, when you have Swisher and Hex smiling as they have, they are going to meet in CT spawn, so maybe the gun's to be taken away, so...
Yep.
I mean, little double kill there, and Lake can't believe what's happened. He's saying, oh, oops, knifed out, jumping back and forth, trying to displace.
Hey, it's all right, man. Granted, he just got a triple, so it's okay. You obviously want as many buys as possible, but Lake just walked there. So accidents, I'd say, the first one. I'm not even sure if he saw the old guy towards old L there, but he does get the shots off, gets the kill. Triple off the Tech 9. Money in the bank for him. But KOLESIE, they're not too far off themselves. This is a pretty even buy.
E-Box controlled by a player in which Hext isn't actually ready for. Spammed out on a line in which is common as well. Innocent, he can just hold mouse 1 knowing that he should be hugging the other side of red.
Swisher. Down to 44. Hex already out, but it doesn't matter. Lake is out on site. The 5.7s and the M4s find some kills, and suddenly again you snap your fingers, the round's nearly gone, but it doesn't matter. Sin's good for at least 1, but it is going to be a 2-on-4. And hey, even if these rounds go back and forth, eventually that does just kind of mean M80 close it out. It's just going to take a little longer.
I don't really know about what the call was there. Kind of misled. Didn't really seem like everybody was on the same page with it. Being broken player by player, upper and lower, where spacing was kind of off. The speed in which they go for it was trying to match that of the last, perhaps. Just on the opposite side. And now that Sin gets his chance to actually activate, taps down Flay. Not done with this round entirely just yet, and that he goes without much HP taken off of him in this round as of yet. He's still a very lethal opponent to have to worry for.
30 seconds. Not sure. They're still going to go for it. 25 seconds now. Tick down just a little bit. Sin has a smoke. He can throw it in, but that flash is going to delay just a split second more. Enough time for maybe a little bit of a contact play towards connector. Swisher finds one. Makes it even, and oh no, it's down Swisher into a 1-on-2 now. Not much time. 10 seconds. He has the bomb across his back. Doesn't matter. Solely has himself a triple, and KOLESIE take the round again.
Unlucky. Try to get that bomb back. Let loose from the player up at Heaven. They get the 1 kill in, but simply not enough there. But it's KOLESIE, despite having won out the round, who take the timeout. Spear keeping the spirits alive and reminding them what they're here for, and reminding them, despite a deficit, that they are entirely back financially, and that they've got a pretty good track to run on T-side on Train that might not have been too great, but now as they switch over into the defensive, they're on the right path.
What I do like to see, this is map 1. And we've already seen 5-6 timeouts for both teams. Like, it's good. We're there, which means I would obviously say they're taking this one seriously, because it does. You know, good money and good VRS mean everything nowadays. But it's nice to see that both sides, once one team gets 2 or 3 rounds, take a pause, they reconsider, and then we see a nice change of pace, and then it kind of switches it up a little bit, and it's good to see. Keeps it fresh, keeps it clean, keeps it close.
Two AK-47s given over to the Europeans. What is this? But this has been a little bit of a return from Sin. Double kill in that last despite the loss. Not the worst thing in the world. Seeing as they've got themselves pretty much stuffed by KOLESIE in the initial. Their options limited. A singular smoke to work with. Lake's got that one, and if you can't make out the numbers, he's up towards this upper B hall. So if he goes down on his information gathering with the Desert Eagle, they won't get the chance to use it.
M80 kind of scared away from those back halls. Lake not so much. Thinking about re-peeking in towards connector, but not the best. We do see KOLESIE put 2-1-2. Obviously, that Z player floating around between sites, playing off contact, and contact we're talking about. There we go. Flay finds himself the first kill in towards Hex. Another big gun out of the round early on. 2 rifles still up and some deagles. Slacks finds himself 1, but not before Lakes gets folded by an M4 from range. So they start trading out, and the round instantaneously goes the way of KOLESIE. 7-10 now, putting 2 in a row. Finally,
Flay felt like he had to sit in that corner, and he did. Baited out his teammates whilst also holding the line at lower, and he really just has the last line of defense held if anybody were to be dropped around him. So very well done from Flay. Finds this first, knows what his next prerogative is, and immediately fills in that gap. KOLESIE have very little to worry about when things are looking as smooth as this. Again, very reminiscent of what honestly Nuke had looked like yesterday versus Blue Jays. I was discussing how they were shutting them out at every turn and trying to get into bomb sites. with rifles or otherwise. Flay putting on display his prowess with the A4, and now given an AK-47 for all the good work that he's done.
Well, the train of Galil starts to come out, but I don't think this round's going to be as successful as the forces were before. Swisher onto a burst, can't quite get there. It's going to be Slacks looking at his dead friends sprawled out before him as he joins them in Valhalla. He goes now only 2-round lead for M80.
Timeout. Things are starting to slip. Their grip loosened. The sweat is what allows this one to slowly drift. I like how animated he gets with his hands.
Oh, he's telling a story.
Yeah.
It's not sign language.
It really just amplifies
like
your feelings, of like how you're emphasizing certain things.
I feel like at one point, for content reasons, you need to just go over this, but voice over what you think he's doing with his hands and what he's saying with it.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Like really poorly done voiceovers.
You could do like a bad lip reading. You remember the bad lip reading videos on
like
YouTube?
The NFL videos.
Yeah,
and stuff?
yeah.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah.
That's exactly it. Now, guys, what we really need to do is look for the best pizza around.
Stingray on a double-sided Scooby snack. Nobody's gonna get that. Yeah, we pay for our hotels. AWP for Slacks minus the utility. The Lils are what Hext and Sin are going to have to use into this one. So you can see that their finances have really not warranted for them to go toe-to-toe as much as they would have liked to, but pinned against the wall is Flay. Another in upper, and Sobel down lower drops a smoke. Will they be ready for the re-engagement? Back his turn. Bad timing for the player, and as he gets killed, Hext is going to be wondering how it were possible, but one right back into their favor. KOLESIE know that they are still very much so engaged in this round.
Hex just seems almost defeated right now. Just gripping the back of his chair. We do see that Oppa Flay out. But Slack still has his. Obviously scoped in here towards Pop Dog. While Swisher makes a play for Ivy. Mollied off, flashed off, gonna force himself up towards the camera, but Kisrak of course finds his. That's Lake out of this one. 3-on-4 now. M80 slow it down with 50 seconds left on the clock. They still have that bomb strapped to their back.
Taking it nice and easy, not letting anything go haywire all too soon. M80 clearing all of their corners, making sure every checkbox is marked, and although there is a gap in a pixel between the boxes to where they can see into Pop, that incendiary is going to stall for a little bit too long of a time, perhaps, seeing as the Ivy guys now are forced and pressured to do something sporadic. Inward they'll go. Outward, that Slacks will peek himself, and he needs to take this first shot swiftly. Swisher the same. Both of them now turning this one on its head. The other two CTs yet to make their way into the site, but an angle held, and isn't just as quick.
Oh, Slacks gets forced off the Pop Dog angle, re-peeks, and he's out. Sin into a 1-on-2. He's trying for his life. 1-on-1 now. Innocent last alive versus Sin. Sin's looking to try and do it, and he does! Clutches up, gets the 2K.
What a job done. Well, Def's praying now? Have we gone to praying? No, okay.
We have to do it.
He's not German.
I'm not.
We have to do what is that?
I'm not saying he's German.
We have to win the rounds.
Yeah, but you never do the actual voice of the person. What do you think he sounds like?
You do something that is completely not that.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair enough, I guess.
Like double-sided Scooby Snack. That's
That's
do you
not
really
an
think
accent. That's like
yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is, do you really think they're saying that?
no. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's
gotta be
double standards.
silly, dude.
So all this round comes back to really is that I feel like KOLESIE had in the palm of their hands this 4 versus 3 where they had everything done right. That incendiary, as mentioned, really kept Slacks in a box, and where he needs to at 20 seconds peek out through there. That shot, he had to hit it. It had to be clean, and it was. Really makes things a lot easier for the other two to work for, as well as get a bomb plant when time's a-ticking.
And time will continue to tick. The only thing you can never beat is time itself. Well, and maybe Sin every once in a while. But it does seem like KOLESIE are on a little bit of a revenge arc, as they're looking to go back to the ways of old. Start taking these rounds back from M80. Flash goes over top. No space gained from Ivy. We are definitely seeing KOLESIE slow it down quite a bit in the early rounds and try and force late execute.
players on this site, though. It's pretty good. I mean, knowing that they don't really have the facilities and map control right now to do a whole lot of looking KOLESIE, they're going to try and just split their differences, and hold as best they can with their numbers without having to leave one guy out on his own at B site. That could be problematic. This late in the game, this close to map point, that would be an overstatement to drop this one without kills going their favor because they're kind of broke. A smoke, a molly and retort. A smoke actually deeper into camera, way deeper. But that's not where they're going to finish. That's not where they'd like to drop. And oh, he on to Hexty. Also not very fun, but hold on. Timing, a kill from Lake. That makes it a lot easier for them to actually justify the pop through. One's gone out and away. And this is now at 25-second mark. They've got to sprint it, but they're kind of spread. They're splintered. Only 2 here, but it's back to the A site. But close, who's going to look to cut them off? Knife out. Not the greatest of calls. The upper, less successful in the first. And no way out for Swisher. No way onto this site. And no way to plant that bomb. KOLESIE get 9.
Well, a round fumble there for M80. They tried to readjust quickly, not expecting somebody to just quietly be lurking up through Pop Dog after they put all that aggression towards the back calls. They figured they would have just pulled the rotate through Z, but instead we definitely saw a very calm, very cool KOLESIE, and they didn't overextend, they didn't over-rotate, they didn't get kind of pulled into what would be a bait, but
You totally could have saved that. Calm, cool, KOLESIE.
oh,
That was really good.
damn it, dude, you're
I'm sorry.
no, take it next time, please. I gift it to you.
It'll be like a callback at that point. I mean, the old reliable rush beat.
Oh.
All right, that round's over with. Anyway, 22.
It's almost like it didn't happen.
Almost. Yeah,
Well-
we could have just... That might be the fastest round I've seen in Counter-Strike on land,
I think we
personally,
had
with my
it
own 2 eyes.
4 seconds on screen for us. Wasn't very long at all.
Fastest team death.
Yeah, honestly, it really was. Everybody died well within 3 feet of each other. I think all towards bottom ramp, piled on one another.
What a highlight that would be.
Oh, yeah.
Molotov to stop any CTs from going on the aggressive as Sobal seemed like he wanted to. Uses his own smoke. It was supposed to bounce upwards. Instead, it's extinguished. Slacks may get what he was looking for in a jump spot from Innocent. Too much skin. He may be a dead man.
Play. Scoped in. He might be. Oh, the barrel most likely spotted out on that one. Hex finds 1-2. But it is going to be a quick trade. But Hex is in for a triple. He says, I'm not done. I'm not out yet. I want my 2 KD back. 22 and 11. He's going to push forward. He goes top down on top of Thomas. Pops the reload even. Mid-peak, but it doesn't matter. The run back down. Are they doing this again?
Yeah, Hex called that he saw both players over the top side of the red train there. He started communicating immediately, as North Americans do. He spoke as fast as he possibly could, got the information relayed, and got them into a better post-plant potential. A spray that goes awry.
What?
It goes a miss, and you send Innocent into the smoke, and he'll pop out for a multi. Hex had given them everything for this round to find success. And now with the bomb to the floor, at least Slacks can confirm that the other in Kisarek has gone back to that B site, but where will he go from then on?
Kisrak needs one, but that's actually Slack's going to get aggressive on the angle here. He's not going to hold for the doorway, but hold for the long walkout, and he should have this first contact, but Kisrak needs aim for the look around. They're going to peek at the same time, and there we go. Around for Slacks off the back of Hex in the triple.
Perfect timing for him to slip outwardly, and his crosshair is well set to the head. Eliminated. And on map point, Train, the one chosen by KOLESIE for the first of this grand final 5. Not looking great. And Dust 2 on the horizon. M80 have to be smiling, grinning from ear to ear.
Was this KOLESIE's map pick, too?
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
Yeah.
Actually, we expected it to be Ancient.
Yeah.
Remember?
And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it was, we talked about it on caster beforehand, it was, it's going to come down to who's going to have a stronger CT side half if this is really going to be the map that is going to be played early on, which is why we kind of discussed who would pick it so they can get the choice of sides first.
Yeah, downtime, as Ivy is where Slacks has loved to be previously. This jump spot is pretty effective, but Innocent's got to be careful on where he goes from there after the fact. He's just trying to give them whatever they can as far as knowledge is concerned. But Swisher and Slacks have actually been splintered between the two different sides of it, and they have no idea. They have no idea whatsoever.
The timing couldn't have been better for him on that one, exactly. The whole time he's like, I was jumping it for 45 seconds straight. As soon as I look away, somehow they get themselves in there. But it's going to be Swisher to find that first one early on. Slowed down again to M80, and it doesn't really matter in a map like this where you think they're going to go, because M80 are just going to try and switch it back up.
What this does to Sobal is it makes him have to pull off of the B site, look towards the back of that Ivy, and in the hold, he is going to catch one shot in the side of the head. Kisarek, he's lost his life, and Sobal couldn't do a thing about it, but perhaps Flay's sniper rifle that's entrenched himself in T-Con can. So many different ways to look. A three-pronged assault, but Flay doesn't care. Turns on a swivel and on a dime, drops one more before he enters the 2 versus 2 for his squad, as Slacks can only tag. It may be an 11th unless Sin's got something to say, but he's picked up an op of his own. 20 seconds left. The clock's in his hand, close to his low, but he's not ready for the player at his hip. It's already so easy for Sobal, who'd rotated back and forth, in and out.
Well, looks like we might get ourselves a little overtime. Or maybe not. Maybe I may show up. They do, the money not looking too great right about now,
No
especially
plant.
with, no plant. We aren't going to see that. The money, not even on a notable amount of, I think, loss bonus at this point, because they did win quite a few at that point in a row. So we're looking at maybe 2,400.
Oh, man. Awkward. Look at this. They've done it before. It took a little bit of creativity from Sin. Took a little bit of luck in terms of the sound cues not quite having gone over through the headsets of KOLESIE at Ivy, but once more we find ourselves on the opposite ends of the world. But will this trip be one well taken? There is 2 players, but they're so very far.
Molly right in towards Innocent, and already tagged up to 7. Not sure what hit him or not, but the Tech 9s is what's going to hit him over there. Sin finds one, Spam comes through. It is going to be a quick trade. Hext, of course, pushing himself forward. He finds another. Lake finds one as well. Innocent on 7 HP. He finds the backstab towards Lake. It's a 3-on-2. They don't even have a kit for KOLESIE. Bomb going to get down.
At some point, Kisarek needs to get into this one. Has yet to find his one. A nade just in front. 2 players so very close. How do you tear them apart? One hidden, the other active. Swisher's the one who will be seen second, but both of them found by Hex with the Tech 9 on Spam and Spray. It's map 2 and M80 avoid going to overtime. The curse has been lifted.
And are you guys excited to see some Dust 2 here right now? KOLESIE on the CT side, M80 on T. An aggressive play towards the halls will be met by M80. Want to maybe look in mid just a little bit. Slacks already brought down to 1 HP. Flay going uncontested in Catwalk. He will fall back before the T's decide to move anywhere, and they will begin to move towards long.
We're going to give it a second to see if anybody was going to get antsy from KOLESIE up through those barrels. It's not going to happen. Instead, they clear out tons. They can use all that information they've garnished now to stack up the A site. Not only that, but Flay tap out from the round. Sayonara Slacks, and this long position is soon to be compromised. But will they have rotated back in time? They're actually banking on the fact they might go back and go for a full rotation. Hold on now, though. Are KOLESIE actually 2 steps ahead?
I mean, look at the presence that they have in tunnels right now. M80 do kind of seem to be stuck. Innocent playing at bottom tunnels. So if they do choose to try to hit out mid, the presence will at least be known, and that is seemingly what's happening. Innocent finds one in mid. Dubran is not able to find anything else, but the Catwalk player, that's close to trading back his teammate, finding a second Swisher. The only one remaining does fall last. KOLESIE finding this pistol around here on map 2.
This bumps all around, needing a little bit of motivation now. Not sure what the next step is as far as what their investment's going to look like, M80. I mean, I don't know exactly how these guys do react to certain situations in best of 3s or 5s, I guess, in this instance, as far as we're a map up, you know? I mean, maybe we can afford to throw a couple of rounds to the wind, try and see if we can pull up some of that same level that we had over on Train. Tech 9s, I mean, those things were looking absolutely killer.
Yeah, I mean, Lake having a big round with a Tech 9 and when he was running on to the outer bomb site. Very good activation from him there, and it does seem that all the T's are lined up towards Tons. A little bit of Yuto comes in. Sobals MP9 only finds one. KOLESIE will get a kill himself. M80 do secure the bomb site, secure the bomb plant. Spray through the doors onto Lake, takes him out. Only 2 players for M80 left. You know, realistically, not expecting to win this round, but getting this bomb plant is very good. Didn't activate with it. They have to slowly wait for the CTs to push in.
Two from Tons. The others on the other side of those doors, and that bomb 10-second defusal won't be really that big of a deal, an issue. Not. Dust 2 continues onwards with some success. Not nearly as many a scare as they were witnessing in that last as mentioned, but time to really get the ball rolling, really get moving, and try and build momentum. Mentioned that Ancient is going to be where they're eyeing up primarily out of these 3 maps in just a bit time, but if they can manage to dish out some of the same that they've taken from M80 as far as map trades and exchanges would be concerned, Dust 2 would be a beaut. An absolute beaut.
Yeah, it could be a turning point for the series.
More pistols.
Not opting to fully invest into the round is M80. They want to make sure their buy is going to be very potent once it does come through. Innocent completely flashed. Does double up with Kisserek. Long push stopped for now. M80 reroute in through mid. Still a smoke and a flash left for these T's, so they might be able to try to pop out through that lower mid. That is what's happening. Swisher tries to catch off KOLESIE, but the double spray down is beautiful. Slacks, a Deagle, and a Dream. 5 players remaining for the CTs. And it doesn't seem like much time left for Slacks to live.
Doesn't take much time to die.
Nope.
TTK at an all-time peak. This 3rd round is where it all comes to a head. This is where M80 have been budgeting for. They may have thrown one to the wind and just trying to get something lucky. That last round they had pulled together only the few Deagles. And here, the AK-47s accompanied by Slacks' AWP. 2 total frags have to have transpired for them thus far, but this is very early days. This is the time to show KOLESIE who's boss. And as long control is not going to be taken early nor fast, they are going to prioritize that bottom mid space into where smokes will allow them to inch upwards and maybe even get in towards Cat.
And a very nice slow take towards mid from M80. KOLESIE completely playing off of it. There's a player pushing closer towards long. Swisher should hear the noise, spots the body jumping across. Only able to do a little bit of damage. Meanwhile, over on Cat, Molotov blocks out any aggression that Lake wants to show. As that fades, the smoke blocks his path as well. Still a minute on the clock. T's can choose to go wherever they want with this. And realistically, not a lot of information for the CTs right now. I mean, they do have the presence in long, but as of right now, everything else is a complete unknown as to where these players do want to try to finish. It is towards Cat.
But what's good about that is that when you play this time of the round, about 40-second mark, with all the utility they haven't had to expend to get that map control, is they're actually kind of banking on the fact that they can stall once they make themselves known. Trying to throw that Molotov on Cat. First and foremost, a flashbang set from the back of the site. Goose in its play, not with a sniper rifle, but we've known what he's capable of. We've seen this guy kick some serious butt, but this time Lake faking him out and feigning the drop into spawn, catching his kill, but in the lineup, oh, it's not going to be any more than a singular kill. I thought there was a world, but Swisher, not a mid to B. You've seen it before, but it's the opposite end, a mid to A, and still standing is Kisserek.
There's such low HP on some of these teams, but it doesn't seem to matter. Swisher gets the kill in CT. Kisserek, the only one remaining. No kit on his body, and it won't even matter. Sin picks up the scoped rifle, collects his kill, and M80 find their first round on this T side.
KOLESIE timeout, taking one aback, trying to regroup and rethink their exit strategy now as the gun round doesn't quite go their way. 3 players still stand from M80, so I kind of laid out the plan and framework of what needed to transpire for them to stop that catwalk, and honest and truthfully, it came down to shots. I mean, Lake hits his with minimal vision and time to actually, react to where this guy is being firing off from, and gets his, and then the swing from the back of the site, also with a flashbang supported, mind you, can only get 1, and you'd think that there's so much more on the way, but they're just sitting in the smoke and sending them right back to where the tracers are shown.
Exactly what you're mentioning right now. And, you know, that spray down that you mentioned from the player Goose towards Cat through the smoke.
So low.
Completely different round was possible there if another one of the T's were to fall, but that is not what happened. It was M80 collecting that round. And the buys back out for both these teams. A double op setup for the CTs. So will end the main opper Flay. Scope train towards Suicide, but Slacks picks up the first kill. The double op down. B-side already open. Need to try to get a smoke on that doorway to prevent any more vision coming through. That is what's going to happen. M80 have their bomb site.
The post from the back of the tunnels was met with a freebie, and nobody else is really in to this B bomb site quick or close enough to stop them. Flay, he might get his sniper rifle thanks to that last round and the money that he'd saved, but not going to get the chance to really use it. Slacks is beating him to it. Second round is nice, especially one that's as clean and easy, and KOLESIE are going to be a little upset with the lack of kills they get in this round again. I mean, before it was never really an option, but now that they have the $50 per kill bonus option to go for, nobody falling for M80 is going to make that just that little bit harder to go for.
Yeah, I do love this immediate save from KOLESIE, though.
Gives them an immediate buy, yeah.
Yeah, and plus you know the B bomb site is so hard to retake. So if you do lose 2 more players and at least keep 2 guns alive, it's still a completely different buy. So making sure everyone stays alive is what's most important. The crowd is fired up here in Windsor.
The Pit Viper wearing the Pit Vipers.
Ooh.
You like that? That's
Nice
your new
little call
nickname.
out.
You're the Pit Viper. Yeah? All right. Enthusiastic response.
Been screaming all weekend, but
All right, well, I can think of a better nickname for you.
as we mentioned, the CTs are able to have another purchase in this round. Nice little nade, could have done more damage to Sin, but caught a little lucky there.
Standard issue util to try and take, but a little bit of an awkward trajectory there for the incendiary that was meant to head to blue, but you know, Counter-Strike gets a little funky sometimes. We can be forgiven.
Oh, look at the tons control from the CTs. Hext might be able to completely catch him off. Not able to hit his shots, but the information is known. I do believe he spotted both those players. Molotov blocks their own push. And Hex able to fall back as Lake approaches up from Cat. He is by himself, playing around that smoke. Joined up by Sin now.
He's leaving? What?
I'm not sure.
Why did he just leave? I'm so lost. Wait, they just pretty much lost the round because he's going to have to leave. He's got one player isolated all the way over at long. He's either going to get A, lurked out on, or get shot from the site itself if he looks to walk back. His A-side player has just completely left him. They've gotten kills, though. Sobel's in the back lane. He's all the way in T-spawn. That's where they get the actual action. And I thought they had this one under lock and key. I thought they had their thumb over topside place, but good shot from Slacks. Gets softened by the rifles. But how have they managed to make their way back into this innocent? Whatever he's called is beyond me and over my head. But the patience that comes out from the long interaction nets them the frag. Sticking around for that long a time actually pans out. And KOLESIE win the round.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I guess it's just better to have the power in numbers for that retake if you give up the site there. Definitely surprised us. Most likely surprised M82 as they're not exactly sure what hit them in that backline flank.
I'm curious to know where Flay got his kill. I didn't see. He sniped somebody. But the world may never know.
Well, Swisher's about to know a kill. A good flash from Hex allows Swisher to take that space towards long, and now 2 CTs have to fall back, concede that space. Very nice foothold for M80 to collect early in the
That
round.
was a beautiful spray. Every bullet connects in quick succession. KOLESIE already spectating as soon as the last round had ended. And Swisher's just going to be the one to hold on to this for a little while longer to try and allow his teammates room to cook. He's going to effectively become the lurker. He actually almost gets that kill. It looked like he had more vision than he actually did. Play again with his sniper has made it work. He'll be dealt with on the second post, but they're split 2 and 2, I think. Yeah, that's exactly it. There's still one over at long, and they're trying to get into this B site, but they've got this one pretty well stacked. That's a little bit odd.
Yeah, Kisrek all the way up at top mid is going to be a really big problem for these teams that are trying to rotate in through lower right now.
They're just going to wait for Sin to make a move.
There's nothing more they can do. Oh, Kisrek has 2 shots lined up. The first one does fall. Swisher tries to need to get a trade, but it's just not going to be possible at all. And now Sin left by himself towards elevator. Realistically, 30 seconds in the round. You're not even near the bomb. You have to just try to save this. I don't think there's a world where Sin even chooses to try to get a kill.
Lucrative positioning in the late round from Kisarek. Sits there and awaits them to rotate from one side or the other. A hard clear in which you don't often see for Tees, to be honest with you. So he, knowing that, capitalizes upon one. Takes his time, as you say, having lined up the second, although he may not go for the duel. Get there. It's Ancient.
And it is going to be straight in for these opening pistols. M80 have had a pretty good, solid performance when it comes to a lot of these opening pistol rounds, but KOLESIE looked to try and answer back, set that early pace with the pistols. It's going to be smokes, mollies, 3 sets of armor for the boys of KOLESIE.
Lake is playing a little bit wider over towards A main than maybe they would have been anticipating, and eventually when the head is spotted and seen, Flay sends a warning shot in his direction, and bye-bye Lake. Hello to A main now. Nobody left lingering, nobody lurking in the corners that will still be cleared, but with a little less invigoration, seeing as now it's the bomb site they want, the nades rain over, and nobody whatsoever is going to be making their way in. A 5v5 post plan, Anthony.
This is going to be a rough take because they got to make this one quick. A smoke, a flash, and no kit at all here for M80, so they're going to have to speed this one up. Plethora of bodies to be shot here if you are M80, but it also reverses the other way. KOLESIE just waits this one out, tries to buy their time as they are in the most probably optimal crossfire positions here. 2 in towards Temple with 1 player taking contact. Doesn't matter. It's already going to be trades going in. It's already a 4-on-4.
They're ripping through, but they're being torn in 2. Lake can do all that he wants, but when nobody else has made their way in through the choke points, all important, it's Slacks who turns his attention and taps. I thought he was taking it slow and controlled to the point where that kill would have worked out, but still one more even if that were to be the case. This is another pistol round going the way of KOLESIE as the first, and that's a tide turner it felt like on Dust 2. Will that pattern remain on Ancient is the question, and only in due time will we find. It was a force that M80 put through after that was happening on map 2.
I know on Train we saw a lot of back and forth. Dust 2, obviously probably a lot less trading of the rounds here.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're going to see M80 try and answer back here. They're back to ye old ump by here for Hex. Lake the MP9s, Deagles, 5.7s for the rest. No kit still, so maybe try and just play those early picks, early kills, and deny any bomb plant to put themselves in that kind of scenario.
It really frightens me how much pressure they like to put on this A site this soon in the game, because I think that's going to be a reoccurring theme, if I'm honest with you, in that won't be the one to deal the damage out to the kill. It'll be Lake's MP9 instead, but in unison, they get themselves a man up and back in through spawn. The rotate from these M80 players is going to be a little bit cut off. It's going to be a little bit claustrophobic. If they want to get through Temple, they've got to go through KOLESIE. If they want to go through CT, they've got Kisarek elevated, and all these smokes soon to fade. Nobody directly on the other side of them. It's much deeper than that.
It's going to be a hard site to crack into, but KOLESIE, utilities out, none left in the back pockets here, but same goes for M80. The trades come out, and it is going to be M80 on top. Sin going to be taking that contact in through Temple with a 5.7, but not if he gets swept on from Kisarek. Flash over top. No real movement from 80 off that single. Swings, clears the close angle. Slack's going to swing out with the Deagle. Lets off a few shots to ring, but can't quite connect. Swisher to make his way through that smoke as well. Sits inside of it. And maybe they're just waiting for that plant, and they are. See some shifting of the CT side bodies now.
Innocent having to be the one to hold there was a little bit frightening at 19 HP, but he will not be shown anything from an 80, and eventually they'll come through. Drop off of Brokey, attempting to be quiet. Not going to happen, but still Slacks with this Desert Eagle could be potent. Swisher waited in that smoke for it to fade for as long as he had, and now they're going to need to at least tap this bomb, but is he out of the line of sights? I'm not quite sure. I think they're going to realize it could be possible. Innocent will be the first to swing from the right, gets across, lucky to be alive, and Kisarek yet to even activate. He hasn't had to do a damn thing. He's got the AK, and he's only got to land a singular bullet, and that is going to be the conversion. That is going to be all 5 fallen, but still a decent effort, but that was, again, let me remind you, a 4-spy.
It is, and now M80 are really down in the dumps financially, while this Polish squad's just taking it early to them here on this A site, kind of how you hinted at and said at. You're kind of afraid at how free and easy it is to kind of walk out early on in the first 20, 30 seconds here with little resistance towards A main. And I feel like
It's 2 players in Donut, so.
Once M80 probably make this adjustment and start putting more bias towards there,
again,
KOLESIE can just kind of rotate back around, but instead they're actually answering this aggression through main with their own aggression down towards mid, so they can get this early flanking, but it doesn't even matter because there's probably going to be a lurk around, and it's going to run around with the MAC-10, and nothing makes sense anymore.
Oh my god, you actually just went nuclear. Thought you were going crazy on me. I thought you were going to go, habada, and start like shaking in the booth.
Stop fighting, stop fighting.
Stop fighting! Innocent goes for a faster, loud play over towards that B site with the singular SMG, and what that does is it keeps M80 guessing with their lesser weaponry and lesser ability to go for info, and that means they can walk out A again. Look at that. Free B. Okay, hold on though. That's a lovely angle. I love. It's an off angle in which their heads can't be spotted, and you need to be very attentive too. And the 5.7's potent to find the frag as well as a fully automatic rifle. But Lake, he's looking for something as well. He's maybe looking to get a little bit sneaky with this one. Not a ninja, but perhaps somewhat. If he's able to silently kill an assassin in the medium range, though, the MAC-10's difficult to try and make work. Bomb will blow. No one will go down with it.
Timeout, right? Surely.
I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen a gun round from M80 yet, so I think it's like a matter of I think they have an idea of what they want to do on this gun round already by this stage, going down into the third, right?
Yeah.
I think it's holding on to the timeouts in case this doesn't work out is the more important part.
Yeah, that's probably when we see M80 start questioning a few things. A nice off angle, kind of like you said
Bink.
right there. Yeah, just boop.
I love
him with the off button.
I love Bink. I love when there's just like a little one tap with something that isn't an AK. Bink.
Do you audibly call your own headshots too? Bink.
Yeah, sometimes when
Bink,
we're
bink.
playing matchmaking, I just pre-fire and jiggle. I just go Bink.
I'm gonna buy a buy. Bing, 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 bing,
Like a Bink button. Blowing the smoke, it Slacks' AWP, which does in fact see Sobel on his walk over. Nobody else from the side of KOLESIE, but a kill nonetheless, and where the man advantage is theirs. Something we haven't very many a time seen. Swisher eats a nade, but all good. 5v4, he can afford to do that.
Eats those for breakfast.
Oh no!
Yes, Iraq with a disgusting shot. Slacks out around, but close by is Sin. Doesn't swing, but now at top red control, Lake thankfully finds that kill, because that would have been really, really tough to try and retake red late round while bombs being planted. But thankfully for them, M80 with man advantage, but maybe not for much longer as they answer right back with the trade.
KOLESIE don't really know how in the heads of M80 they actually are. There were two players in Donut again. One still ready to rotate over if they needed, but when they stall out after that's the fact, after that's not obviously known, it's the free and easy rotation for M80. They could have just walked into that B site freely if they really wanted to, but eventually it all comes back to A, and here comes Sin with the AWP just off his peak. A flash high after the fact to keep him from getting peeked by Flay or KOLESIE, but they've got to cover each other. They're all coming from the same spot, and in line, it's one tuck to the box, his back pressed against it, and he has the element of surprise, and the 1 versus 1 knowing Sin was here a moment ago. The pistol is fine. The USP connects to the dome. Flay can only do so much there, and stuck at center sight, no kit, no problem. Sin recovers not only the sniper for 4,750, but 5 kills and the defusal in the round converted.
And it kind of comes all the way back to that play in towards top red. If they weren't able to get that kill, that rotates would have been slowed down, cut off, lack of utility, lack of defuse kits would have potentially bought them enough time to get themselves that round. But thankfully for the NA squad, they get that round right back, and a much-needed one as well, leaving one player alive. He is at least going to be able to have himself that op over for free, so the reinvestment doesn't necessarily have to be there, and that is the first round, and we won't have to see a pause, thankfully, because things worked out kind of.
Here we go again, man. Back again we go. It Slacks his sniper rifle, though. Wait a second. Blinded over so slightly. KOLESIE will still fall victim to it. Amalia atop the place in which he thought the defuse, or rather plant, pardon, was coming from. Won't actually land appropriately, but the shot from Kisarek sure does. Ready for the late lurk in through the bottom ends of mid. Elbow is on coverage, and on this retake, they've only got 2 kits separated. Need to ensure that they can find them should it be required, but finding kills, step number 1. Getting into the site, step 2.
Slacks very low, and the timing on that. Fully blind, but Lake is gone out of the round. 3-on-3 retake. Well, maybe not. 3-on-2, 2-on-2. Sin with the shots in, but Slacks gets the kill. Down to a 1-on-1, but Flay lands a shot in the op-v-op battle, gets the round, and KOLESIE find themselves a 4th.
Sin taking just a little too long trying to find the kill on the closest to him. Such a pain. Slacks, he tries as best as he can given his spot, given what he was offered. A stunner from Kisarek. Trades back through a main when the time is right, but Lake just trying his best, his absolute best to try and work out with Flay, but he was blinded too before he takes that pop shot, so it was almost karma almost instantaneously. Back into Donut side, 2 players will go, and fast into the cave, to which Swisher now is between not only nades, mollies, and players, but he's honestly going to need to get out of there maybe. His 5.7 is potent, but nobody's close by.
Well, thankfully for M80 for the first time, it seems like 6 rounds, because we were on the 6th round.
Okay.
We don't have a full A main exec instantaneously in the beginning of the round. but they could still rotate through Donut and eventually go. They do have full mid control, fully locked out. M80 actually re-smoking themselves in, and it's going to be some shots in through the bottom ramp. And oh, look what we have here. The bombs being picked up, and with full mid presence, are they going to go Jaguar?
KOLESIE's going to send them in with a flash off the wall. Actually, not even touching it. Pops perfectly beforehand. No sound cues. But Swisher, as stated, had no teammates close enough by to where he could have just sat comfortably in cave and expected to have any impact in this round. He's got the only flash they've got. With everyone here, though, this could be something big, as well as the fact that Slax' tags could also do some serious work. Periodically back and forth he'll go, and there's Swisher activated. There's the players up the ramp being met by numbers they weren't ready for, but the same could be said about the backlines from Cave, and a no-scope from Flay. No matter how many numbers you put his way, seems he can handle them. The rifles might have struggled, but he's on top of the ball. And Slax, I don't really foresee this being a logical conclusion of a victory.
No, best you can do is get some extra kills.
Bring it around town.
You're not even really going to want to have this scout in the next round anyway. He doesn't even have armor. He can kind of just invest his body into this one and maybe grant him. Oh, gets a good tag in, but it does eventually get traded. You know, aiming for that extra $50 a kill spread out between each player. Very nice, but sadly, only get a pair. So the 5-7s do what they did and at least got a little bit something out of it.
Here's Def.
The hands.
Here's the time to talk.
Those hands.
You know what I've done with these hands? You know what I've done with these hands?
Jessica, my hands. Please
You know
tell me
what
watch
I did for
Daredevil.
you? I was talking about the Brothers movie. It was Tobey Maguire.
No, I was talking about Daredevil, season 2.
I've never seen Daredevil.
Oh, man.
I should watch it. That and The Punisher I want to get into at some point.
Kingpin's wife cheats on him because he doesn't have nice hands.
Why are you telling me? You spoil. What am I going to watch this show now for?
The plot.
Okay.
You know, Daredevil.
Understandable.
Yeah. Great show. Great show. Almost as great as a show as this right now.
Sin, stern look on his face as he now needs to lock in. Everyone else on the side of KOLESIE are feeling this is starting to really swing in their way. Flay especially now warming up on Ancient. T-side off. Met with competition from Slack soon enough, but the last chance he'll have at it for a while if he can't find any level of frags. Okay. Oh, he's always scared me.
Ooh. Almost getting there.
Oh.
But it is going to be Swisher eventually getting the kill. Innocent out of the round is not so innocent apparently. Minute 20 on the clock, and we see that bomb taking the rotate back to A main, and we found ourselves with top red control, CT spawn, A main. I can't imagine how this is going to work out well for M80 right now.
KOLESIE, he's the only one in this direction at B, holding for actually the other side of the smoke as well as if they were for the walkthrough up shelf. Not happening, and backs turned all over the place for KOLESIE right now. Surprisingly a little loose in their laurels and holding on to what was once their main prerogative. Flash to self setup. Slax was known to be here before. The rifle, not so much. There's M80 getting loud and Def. Certainly giving the boys some level of wisdom. They seem to be much more on the ball and much more willing to bob and weave back and forth between the map, as well as take some risks, particularly in Cave from Swisher.
Yeah, it was a much needed risk as well. I mean, strategically made sense. He had to gain some ground. He saw and he heard the fact that we're probably getting a big rotate back to A main because that's pretty standard for this T side at this point. And thankfully, even though it was very awkward positioning for M80, they won the single hand duels. Obviously, Swisher coming in, throwing a wrench into their little plan as well. And maybe we see KOLESIE make themselves a B hit.
Swisher loves spamming, so it would seem.
Not a spam fan.
Relatively familiar in the last round to have helped him out, but how does that PT-50 get as close to Sin as he actually did? Slax misses the mark because he was so fast. They're running them down. This can't be how this transpires. He's already left down so deep into this one. Swisher sporadically sends bullets into that smoke. Sayonara Sobol. I said that about Slax over on Train, but I guess the shoe's on the other foot now, isn't it?
It is, and it's not great.
Oh, it's a save. I mean, what is Swisher to do
you
here?
have to. This is it. You have to just kind of
Bite
pull
the
out and
bullet,
hope
man.
for the best. Yeah, I mean, the guns aren't there. The money's not there financially. I mean, now if they save and they don't have to fully reinvest, Swisher can kind of shuffle some weapons around. Maybe Slax can still even potentially get an op out of this from the loss bonus. but the Polish just kind of kick it up a notch verbally as well as physically. They run it up that ramp. Was that English?
Yeah,
It was?
something saving man.
Well, I mean, they did need to save, guys. Come on. They need these guns. Because that
Actually
P250
trying to logically tear down shit talk.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, they made the right play.
Come on.
Don't be mean.
Stop fighting.
Well, if there was ever a time to get into your opponent's ears, especially M80 right now on map 3 where you're trying to take it to where it's now you in the lead on map count, then I guess this would be it. Swisher, a little bit of a menace over in Cheetah before. This time, though, they're going to completely try to negate even having to encounter Bro by dropping a little bit of fire at his feet, and he's like, all right, well, I guess you win this round. I will be back.
Oh, sooner rather than later, Lake gets himself that kill. Gives M80 at least something to be hopeful for here, but we're seeing a huge adjustment from 80. They're giving up mid. They're putting 4 on B and leaving a very, very, very passive angle for Hex to hold. I'm not sure if that's maybe a good call, but I mean, they see what we see. It's a good call.
Okay,
but KOLESIE have been known to rotate.
There's a player so close that Flay now knows about, and his teammate isn't doing a whole hell of a lot to bail him out if he's to get a fight. They're walking up relatively dry. Eventually that smoke hits where it wanted to. I'm not sure if it was blocked, but either way, the bomb is the first to take contact. That's a little awkward. Now they know where it's going. Now they know where the jig is, and it's a dance in which Innocent is willing to play, but even so, at 13 HP, what's a guy to do? Are they going to commit to this, or are they just going to run it back? I don't know. There's a mid-splinter. There's one player who's cut off rotations if they so need. Here comes Kissarak. Welcome to the A-site rotation, baby, but will they be hunted? Innocent so very low. 23. Got a teammate in this house position, and yeah, like I'd said, he had to have made something work, and they know exactly where he can and can't be. It's either A or it's in that cubby, because there was no time for the B rotate given that they hadn't heard him.
And that's kind of exactly what I was thinking was going to happen because
Per-thinking.
yeah, per-thinking.
I like
Per-chance. KOLESIE have, like, once they get any resistance on that B site, they are not afraid to just go, okay, we're going to go back to A. It's worked 7 out of 8 times. Why not now? But it's this contact play, a very awkward crossfire setup on that ramp, kind of leaving a lot of the CTs exposed, a lot of spacing. You put 2 players in towards Pillar. Maybe one of those were supposed to be in towards Cave, but maybe a little miscommunication. That mollying them out. They kind of bump into each other, a little unnecessary damage. Again, just small little things can lead to big problems.
Yeah, KOLESIE doing their set of yapping now.
He looks a lot more angry.
Yeah, like I said, when he gets into the game, he gets like a immediate eyebrow V. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh boy, do I.
Well, I'm like a W, I guess, if you were to like draw the line with your fingers.
In a very caricature way.
Yeah, a little like squiggly W.
Well, stress levels might be a little high here for M80. A lot less happy screams going around there. But it is this mid presence again. The dump of utility is pretty much par for par at this point.
Molly.
It's bar for bar, Molly for Molly. Slacks. Oh, no Hex actually in towards Donut. Oh, Mike get caught with utility, drops it quickly, evacuates out best he can because here comes the high-speed hit from the T's. Slowed down just a little bit, putting a lot of presence towards that Donut position once more, pulling the M80 rotates, but mid-control kind of locked down for now. They're starting to form up a little bit of a pincer, but there it is. The T's, once again, hitting resistance, fall back into a completely different setup.
Yeah, I mean, M80 wanted to fight mid a little bit there, but they didn't want to bite off too much more than they could chew, because if they go down, they have no red presence. They have nobody at that point in time who was able to stop them from making their way into either of the 2 bomb sites. So back turns Lake.
Ooh.
Inwards turns the AWP. Over at that A site now, he's grouped up with a duo, and Swisher, he's forced his body down through these steps, but they're taking 2 sides of contact. It almost looked like he might have been exposed from the shelf player, but just perfectly has himself covered by that box. This bomb site's now feeling a lot more safe with 30 seconds left, but they're still looking to try and take it from him.
We'll see.
Lake can't support with anything other than gunfire.
Yeah, there's a lack of presence and visual presence as well for that ramp through.
No.
This could be good. He could get one from here, and thankfully for him, turns his back, readjusts, hits the spring, and he sprays him down. Hits the 3K, and Lake coming up huge on the defense.
That is absolutely miraculous from Lake, but not even, I don't even think, a miracle. What a mistake given over that the smoke misses the mark. There's a gap so very wide, you could see it all the way from Windsor, Ontario.
Isn't that where we're at?
Exactly. That's why we see it.
Oh my God, he's right. I can see it.
And it's incredible to me to think that not only does he get in for that first, not only does he deny the bomb planter, but that is some next level transference onto the third player who we only just spotted at the end line of the kill. Big ups to Lake.
Lake playing a perfect position that we may have kind of looked at it very skeptically. It was a pretty big gamble, but it worked out in spades, and does seem like KOLESIE are bringing that bomb back on over to A, playing contact. Slack's going to potential spots out the shadow first. Great spot there. Gets first one, misses the second shot, falls back, gives a little bit of presence, finds a second actually, and here comes a spray in from Lakes and Hex as they get it, and it's Innocent last alive with just the Tech 9s, and the Lurk's no good, and there we go.
Somebody's got to let them know these shadows exist.
Yeah.
That was the easiest shot of Slacks' life, man.
Everybody in Poland apparently plays those shadows off or low. Just don't know, apparently.
New tech just dropped.
Shadows.
How to get opt.
Yeah, a full second before you actually see right there is very, very obvious.
No molly, no jump spot, no flash, no smoke.
Like, once you get to that shadow point, yeah, a shadow even in towards Jaguar as well. Once you get to that point, you just do it.
You gotta go.
Just jump it at that point, or just W it. Either or bait out a shot, do something. And maybe that's kind of what we're having to talk like, guys. Listen.
Ooh,
New tech
the
did
coach
drop.
and the IGL going back and forth and locking eye to eye. I'd said it on broadcast yesterday. 27% of Innocent's playing career was with that man. 27%, that's over a quarter.
So when he makes eye contact,
years.
you know it's serious.
Yeah, dude.
True. Fist bumps. Not so disappointing, but stern look still.
Could you imagine playing with a person for like over a quarter of 15 years on a team? I mean, not getting sick of each other is really a test of time. It's like a marriage at that point. It's like a full-on relationship you put in.
Yeah, that's
not to say anything subjective.
That's like
I'm just saying
4-ish years right there.
That's like a really good, strong friendship they've got going, and clearly they've got enough of a connection to try and pull around back with communication in the last of the half with what money they have. And Pistols already able to get them towards a site, but nothing too crazy going on beyond that. They have no more flashbangs to try and pop through the smoke. Their bodies will do it for them, and Sin has it handled.
Well, bomb plant down. The bare minimum of this mark gets one extra there, but it is going to be, matter of fact here, a tied half. 6-6 is where we are at, and something that may have gotten pretty sketchy, almost out of hand, but somehow M80 reel it back into a pretty respectable half.
Bro is thirsty.
I mean, wouldn't you be all that yelling?
Yeah, probably. Striving for that sixth, M80 have eventually come to meet their opponents that were, I believe, 5-1 up, 5-0 maybe even.
I think it was 5-0, yeah.
Something similar to that.
It was a good start.
I think it was 5-1. I'm going to stick with that at the very least. Maybe 5-0, but 5-1 for sure. And here they've got Sin taking on the entirety of the utility load. Fast peek towards A main, similar to that of Lake in the last half, actually, but this time joined by a teammate in which he'll be boosted by. This is so interesting. He's got a power position for the remainder of the round because they never saw the other guy.
Oh no, I think Innocence found out about shadows towards that that P main. It's the old off angle, but it doesn't matter. M80 are kind of pulling exactly what KOLESIE did. Made contact, went quiet, and now slowly rotating, but in towards mid. They do get spotted. No real commitment. We see the bomb actually get shuffled back before the commitment, letting the bomb come in third. Whether it's by design or maybe possibly just trying to bait out something here. They go for the full top red position, flash in, and they lock it down.
Around this one, playing with his opponent's utility, but hurt in that spam. Got to be careful that he doesn't sustain any more from it. He can sit there and keep pressure on an anxiety high for Flay. Or he could decide to just go all in for the frag. being loud about this move back in and out and forth, and they're going to have to clear every position he could have been from, and they'll do exactly that. Threes, how many it takes to pull them apart. 5 versus 3 on this reclimb.
P250 is going to have to do a lot of this lifting. Finds one, a little TK as well, and it does! Slacks finds 3, another one into a 1-on-1. Slacks needs the 4K to pull this one, 2 on to play, but they go round and round, pulls out the USB, taps him down a little bit lower. All he needs to do, he's going to have to stick this one through, but oh no.
Oh no!
Slacks is going to have to jump through. He pulls him off the defuse, but there's still going to be just enough time in a very close round, thinking he doesn't have a kit.
I thought it was planted for him the whole time he was playing Ring Around the Rosie.
It wasn't.
It was stuck on the opposite side of that pillar. I thought for sure he had that one shoot in. Spoke too soon. Way too soon from me. Especially following what individualism, what pop-off shots Slacks was showing.
So close.
Almost an ace it would have been if it wasn't a TK before that and he had just had the bomb a little wider to the right. I mean, they were taking long control. That's why I was almost convinced that they would have planted for it. Otherwise, what's the point?
I think they just realized they're on a 3-on-5. They're trying to maybe wait till, let Hex live a little bit longer where they could swing while they're trying to fight Hex.
Yeah, for sure. Split-second decision, too, and land gets a little bit hectic. It was just like I have to get the bomb down as soon as possible thing.
Yeah, that like, all right, either we can maybe win the round or I can get the bomb down and at least give us something here.
Yeah. Well, KOLESIE, either way, can't believe their fortune. Everybody on M80 has like a shade of the same hairstyle almost. No, that's not true. It's not, Slacks is the exception.
Are you saying
Swisher and Sin are like they could be like cousins though.
nobody has that original look to them?
And Hex too, that little middle part.
I mean, realistically, out of all of them, Flay's kind of the only different-ish looking hairstyle we got going here.
Yeah.
Well, and Lake. Oh, actually, Lake and Flay kind of had the same hairstyle.
See that boost coming out. Didn't do them any good, M80. They buy in, and they give Slacks the AK-47. I mean, he's been playing well enough, but I think that is a little interesting that he's the one to wield.
Yeah, because he could get head armor.
Yeah, not really. He doesn't have head armor.
Oh, no, that's Sin.
Yeah, he's got a Galil. That's also pretty nice. Lake the same. Hext and Swisher the ones to take the fall in order to take the SMG and pistol respectively, but they could be pretty strong. They could absolutely make something work of this position if they can find the first of the two on the crossfire set waiting to swing. Neither of them will fall. Instead, it's Innocent to find the bodies lay upon the floor, and rotation, it's going to be a little bit awkward. They would really like to get a kill before they go all the way up and into a new plan of action. Bursting away. Wow, really accurate from Kisarek at that distance in this economy, in this update.
Hey, 3 bullets, and after that, then it goes crazy. So a little 3-tapper, kind of FAMAS style. Lake at least finds 1 kill. Slacks backpedaling, again, noted the only AK of the bunch. Starts clearing angles, spots out the shoulder, sprays off some shots, can't connect. Doesn't want to throw everything at it, but it doesn't matter. Innocent. 3 kills in the round, and it does seem like the Poles are starting to make themselves known and a little bit of momentum in their direction.
Captain once again. Seems like it's actually been a game of the captains so far. I mean, Innocent and Sin have both been playing pretty nice.
Yeah. Innocent just a little behind, but I think
On
all
this
of
map.
KOLESIE just really right now. Yeah, on this map, yes.
He's starting to like show like, signs of maybe building up to meet him in Sin as the series progresses.
Uh-oh. M80 are in trouble. We see the coach not just using hands, but now he's moving his body too. If he stands up, they're done.
Who? KOLESIE or M80 or both?
Both. He demands all presence.
All right. Time to stand on business. M80.
Wrong team.
Is that a team?
Stand on business?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were playing here.
I didn't get to see. I didn't see.
They're the guys with the white beaters.
Oh, wicked. I remember them from KC actually.
When they've ripped their shirts off.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
those guys.
Well, even so, more awkward money talk as 850 for Swisher. Their loss bonus starts to stack up, but everybody else is going to be pretty good for the later on. Everybody just chilling outside these doors, and pretty regular and average default from KOLESIE. I mean, there's not really a whole lot you can do here knowing that the money's not going to be beautiful. You already just played up against what was a force. Don't want to go too crazy. A smoke off that wall allows you to safely duck back. Innocent with a good micro adjustment, and the spray with peppering damage as well. And on the other side of this wall, expecting a flash, KOLESIE is ready to fight inwards after it's come, and they're both going to work together in tandem. And again, a double for Innocent leads to the round without much of a hitch.
Yeah, great round over there.
That was just an expected one. It was a little bit of a gimme.
Yeah, it definitely was. But minimal investment, minimal risk. But now we are kind of getting to that panicky level right now of round difference. 3 we have for KOLESIE. And they are that money. It's looking nice right now.
Kisarek ate a nade off that mid wall in trying to get close up and make something happen. And he actually makes it happen for everybody. He grants opportunity for everyone to get involved. Sobol and KOLESIE, they'll find a little bit of that, a taste of a fight. And so very soon into this round of M80 actually been hit with tragedy. It strikes and befalls them as A is their last resort. There's 2 players on either side. A Molotov to Brokey, but they're not fully clearing this big box. Sobol can just sit and wait, and eventually he'll activate, and now he can just play his life. Try for as long as he can, at least.
Well, does have that bomb. 1 on 2. We've seen Hex in worse positions, but now we're seeing him in the worst position. Dead. 10-6. CT side here starting to definitely have that momentum swing. The economy starting to rise to levels that might just panic M80 a little bit, knowing that every round they're going to have to be going into at least 2 or 3 more full buys.
Round ends in under a minute. It's crazy. That was what had to have been one of the bigger and best from M80 to give them a way back into this map for the foreseeable future. Pace change in mid with pistols this time, not eating any nades, no mollies to stop them in their tracks. They can run into this one. No real issue, but eventually making one as Kisarek shows himself on the back ends of those doors, and Lake says he's out of there. He doesn't want to take a duel he knows he's got a low likelihood of winning. And so too, Swisher could say the same now that he's down to 23.
Play. Always the impactful one with the big green gun. 13-9 right now. Doesn't seem like he's having to sweat too much for this one. Being backed fairly solidly by his team. Now with that man advantage, Swisher down to 23 HP. The re-smoke in towards Jaguar gives a little bit of a gap maybe you can work with. Not really.
Very quiet around this map right now. Everything is settled down so substantially that now M80, they may make a move that actually could work out, but the problem is there's no utility to actually supplement it. It's going to have to be something a little bit awkward. And although Lake's doing what he can to pull players to try and make them think it's that other site, it seems a little bit choreographed, seems a little bit staged, and when they realize that that's the fact, they stick their bodies in this B site without wavering, and KOLESIE able to hold off his position, reliable on Innocent more than many a time to find his 2, and they're going to feel this one starting to slip between their fingertips. The cracks are starting to show in Ancient. The choice of this KOLESIE team almost actually looking like maybe it was better off for them to have picked as a first, but as a third, it's also really not looking like it has very many ramifications.
No, I mean, we've seen KOLESIE have themselves performance after performance on this very map. M80 the same, but I think if I remember correctly, they had to go to overtime to take this, and KOLESIE beat Game Hunters 13, like 5 maybe, or 3? Something pretty drastic and a pretty stark difference.
Smoke deepened. KOLESIE looks to play with some leeway, or at least spot out his opponents should they make themselves an easy target. He's trying to go through this at some point and waiting out their sprays before he does it. Maybe I thought he was going to get set up by a flash at some stage, but now he's got to secede entirely. He can't really vie for that spot as they've done their due diligence and making sure every player gets to stand tall before the minute mark hits. There's no A main space from M80 just yet. They have this B steps. They've only just now initiated their walk in through cave. I think maybe, I can't tell whether or not it's going to be a late lurk from Slacks or whether or not it's going to have to be him activating and calling them back if it's clear.
I think they're just kind of leaving it as an option. But the option
He mollies his teammate.
Oh, no, but somehow it's not all that bad. He still finds one. Lake gets the trade, but maybe now this lurk comes into play and leaving options are open. Yes, they're pulling exactly what KOLESIE have done round after round on their T side. But now I think the CTs might realize it because they have done this themselves. The first thing they do before even entering site is to smoke Donut. Doesn't matter. Slacks finds a quick 2K, looking for a little more. Flash in through Donut. He can only find one, leaving Flay last alive. 15 HP, and he's sent off to save.
That's huge from Slacks. Finding both of those kills a necessity, frankly, because if that player on the site has support, if he has another line and a body to shoot, that's where issues start to become greater than that. With the time where it was, they had no sight line at all, given the smoke was thrown. Operation blown, it's Slacks, baby. He was given the AK-47 and Hero earlier on. He may not have delivered entirely then, but now he's starting to really show them who's boss. And Flay, frankly, a little bit of an awkward moment there, mollying out KOLESIE. It limits his opportunities to play for the late round. It gets him effectively killed.
If that molly didn't happen, I think this round plays out significantly different.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
Obviously more of an A hit, but usually from that spot, if he's not instantly cleared, they, for a good portion of the time, usually can get two from there pretty easily, especially if they have a player waiting in that doorway, playing a contact off that spot.
Exactly what he was waiting to do, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why the molly would have been good, but hitting the doorway itself right in front of your teammate,
bummer.
It's NA mollies, baby.
Okay. M80 giving us some reasons to believe. Outwards towards mid very aggressively, quickly spamming in towards Lake, who has vision himself, but not really before he's able to start spraying, so he's got to, on a hope and a prayer, try to connect with somebody. Oh my lord, Hext is decimated by some utility by that, I believe, an HE deeper into the site. Something along those lines, or maybe a Flay leg. He's off is in that direction just that little bit more, and it could have been the kill. The bomb's not being planted, and they're not letting them get into a situation where they can, at least not for the next 10. Hext, 10 HP in his own regard. Lake not that far off. Innocent and Flay also very much so in critical condition.
M80 trying to give them a taste of their own medicine, but trying to do exactly what they did, just seems a little more uncoordinated than what we saw KOLESIE do. Oh, they know exactly how to counter this.
Mr. Playmaker.
Indeed, of course he does. He finds two, leaving Hex to have to ace, but 45 seconds left on the clock. It's exactly what he needs to do, knowing where probably both players are.
One of the easiest aces, so long as he can just hit the first shot of the three. He's going to be able to walk it up in towards his position first and foremost, and when Flay misses, he is still very much so aware where Innocent is. With that off being the weapon he knows is on the other end of cave, he can easily try to fight one of the two of them a little easier. Ticking the molly, not killed, lucky to be alive. Tapped to the bomb, no fight elicited, but here comes Innocent. Here comes the walkout, and when he's exposed, he may be a dead man, and they rise to 12.
Hex giving him everything he has.
Which isn't very much. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a whole lot to offer.
A 3K?
7 HP, I'm saying at that point. I mean, it's so difficult to navigate.
Yeah, hitting every shot without being hit yourself. Was 10. Took a single tick from that molly.
CT crappy incendiary.
Thankfully, it wasn't a T, or else he would have been dead.
Yeah.
But the spread may have gotten him.
But it spreads faster, guys.
But guys, hear me out. We make it spread faster.
M80 could very well be the last time out of Ancient. There's so many more to potentially be had in the series if Overpass is to compute. Frag 19, the grand final. It will continue regardless of the result here, regardless of who wins, but it's so very coveted for KOLESIE, who were down and out on the first of their pick, to make this return. And Innocent can't believe it. His heart may be pumping a little bit in that position where he too is low on HP, but he'll be relieved.
Nice push in towards mid. Met face to face by Sin, so having to fall back and a shot through the smoke on Flay. I'm not sure if there's a gap or it was a timing shot, but he gets the opening kill towards Sin. Molly in towards Caves, forces that player back, and the full exec here onto this site has full control, and thankfully for them, they don't go plant default.
Trying to get a little bit lucky under the spam after that fact, though, knowing that they're dwindling on their numbers, or rather they've been dwindled down to nothing into their pockets either. They have to conglomerate. They have to keep their bodies up and grouped up with this AWP being responsible for a lot of the lifting. Over towards Shelf side, making sure that this position is his and his alone. No one's going to cross his lines of sight anytime soon. They might even go for a save, realistically speaking, but not when Slacks is in the house, baby. He's also on the hunt. He knows there may be a world in which they're going to go backwards, but no, forwards up and into it. Innocent trying his best to make something happen to that one. A laugh and a chuckle. He knows that their round gap is good, but hey, it's really good.
Oh, no.
It's okay. Two go down. They can rebuy. No sweat. I mean, they have to buy every round until the game is over anyway.
Yeah. So you want to mitigate those losses just in case it comes to 1v1 a couple times in a row.
And you got to rebuy.
Yep. And it's not like you can count on loss bonus at this point because hopefully you don't lose.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, I think he's on to something, guys.
You got win bonus. All right, some energy still left in the crowd to show M80 that they can do this one. You can hear that. Can you feel it? Soball to fall. A swing out through mid, typically by Lake Swisher this time around, and a Bountain Slacks was previously in the last half the one to blow the smoke and find the kill, but Flay 2 for 2 in the last few.
His mid presence has been crippling for both sides. They go blow for blow, but instead it's up ramp, and here we go on to site. Molly's in all that you know, all onto site with a minute 25. Full site control, but bomb not down.
Oh no, this is an insane flank coming in right now, though. They're trying to set their teammate up to take long, but little do they know it's their backside they need to be more ready for. And 13-8, it is going to be another map into Overpass.
It is Overpass. M80 back against the wall. They need to pull it out here. Or can the Polish squadron once again rip a Fragadelphia title away from NA? It was NIP last time in Vegas, and now another from across the pond tries to take
the heaven smoke.
What is useful to NA away.
I remember this one. This one's a classic. They're going to be setting that one up for the run through short, but will it be cut short through this connector doorway as they've not gone all the way through? Just going to be letting it happen, and here comes the sounds. Here comes the loud bangs and booms, but all pinning them against the wall is Soball, and even then through Khan, like I had said, it cuts them in two. They're splintered in their walkthrough. As the dual Berettas get even further beyond it, at least they get some sight lines to be able to pop off some further heads. 2 versus 3, bomb yet to be planted, and they need more kills before they can, but not ready for the last in spawn. It's a Swisher clutch.
We've seen Swisher have a great series so far, but this is going to be a thing of beauty. The first kill is good, and look at the HP on Innocent. Only 6 as Swisher makes his way up onto the A-bomb site. Innocent has read this perfectly. Swisher planning behind Optimus. He needs to be ready for the player close by. Just narrowly escapes behind the dumpster. He's expecting a flank. But in reality, Innocent's already on the bomb site. There is a kit and a smoke. Surely not. We've seen so many Ninja Defuses this tournament already. Swisher, he hears the bomb being tapped. He has to try to go for it. The knife is out, but he's not going for it. He gets it after time. But unfortunately, the CTs do pick up the pistol round, and we have a bit of a technical timeout.
Oh, man, that is heartbreaking again. Swisher, although he might not have been slated to take that clutch before it began, he still brought it to the point where it felt like there was nothing wrong he could do. 5 seconds is all that it taken. Innocent has a perfect set of utility on his waistband to make that one. The smoke, as well as the kit in tandem. No scavenging required for him to get that. He had it all on his own. He's accounted for. And this sees M80 needing to try and change things up, as now Def will remain standing. I can only assume for the rest of this one because it feels like there's no time to sit. Can't take it any longer. The AK for Swisher, though, with that bomb planted, that's, you know, as far as the clutch was concerned, at least 4 kills and that 650.
Yeah, KOLESIE only having 1 MP9 in this round. They're not trying to farm up cash. They just want to make sure these rounds are converted. They know that M80 is going to have at least some sort of investment into this round. And
oh, he did get the knife off at the end. I didn't realize that.
Yes, he did. And Flay aggressive. Slack somehow finds 2. The Galil is perfectly trained to open up long. M80 taking their time still. Sin playing towards connector. Beautiful opening of the round for M80. Now they have all the time in the world to reevaluate the situation, group up. And losing this round would be so hard for KOLESIE.
Elevated, trying to see if there's anybody to late walk through Khan. It would have been Sin. You see you later now. Makes it a lot easier to go back and hold, knowing that there was only the one, but they're still going to commit to this, and a full rotation from KOLESIE, anticipating a stack of M80's design on the upper end. It's not to be. That's a save. That's got to be a save from that stage.
Yeah, I mean, the gamble stack, obviously, it's not the best when it doesn't work out, but you got to save in this situation. As I was trying to bring up before, losing the bonus round after winning the pistol for the CTs is so much more crushing for the economy than just losing the pistol straight out, but it does seem that they still want to go for this.
This is weird. Okay, maybe making sounds as they were running away with the clinking and clanking of the metal steps. But here goes the first and innocent with a medium-ranged weapon recently, at least relatively recently buffed. And Slacks is low at the Tech 9, but everybody else is to take the first face. 3 people in the pit. Easy enough onto the initial. The other one close up. Hold on, making it work from heaven above. They showed face, and Switcher now all of a sudden put into it. He can't do it. Nothing going right in that post plant, despite what looked like they were falling away, crawling and creeping into a cave. Not quite. They show face, show fangs, and the poles of KOLESIE have done it again.
KOLESIE completely proving us wrong. We were just saying that maybe the save is the better play. You don't want to try to risk losing those guns. 2 beautiful opening kills of 4 Slacks, but it turns out those were the only kills that M80 was going to get for the majority of the round. Sobel so impactful with that MP9. Hex trades back, but Swisher just not able to convert that 1v2. And back onto pistols are the T side.
They got exactly what they wanted, man. They had it. Once more, 5 versus 3. Can't make it look as clean as they needed in order to return to form. Nades and stack. This is an old classic. I like that. We're seeing a lot of what we had witnessed in previous iterations of this overpass map brought out very early on, including the short wall boost. A little bit of that nade stack into which many a time could get you a kill. And what's next? It's a checklist, pardon me, now we need to cross off. The heaven smoke even being thrown from spawn. I believe they just threw that bathroom smoke also from T-spawn.
It does appear that that was thrown from Sin.
Pretty wicked.
Well, lineups won't do much unless you can get the kills as well. Kisarek opens up that round. Flay jumping around with the op. Has it trained on the right angle.
Oh, not
a Tech
again.
9 up close. Might be able to put a stop to the CT's plan. Lake doubles up. He's been so good with these pistol pushing onto the site during these eco rounds.
So much random movement coming out from the CTs right there that seems unnecessary. Flay's like floating to try and post for his long player who's knife out, dumping to the site.
And maybe a little bit of miscommunication there.
I'm not even sure. I think they were just a little bit more scared than they had to be. I mean, obviously, if they're on pistols and he's right at the end of the long exit, like what could possibly follow him?
Well, either way, I mean, they got to go for the save now.
At least be careful on your cross. Like, pull your gun out and walk it. Or, you know, there's...
Do you know if the music still plays from that corner?
No. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
You don't know.
No.
I hope so.
So...
M80 fighting their first
Lake's
round.
Mr. Tech 9, man.
Yes, he is.
Steven Tech 9. Steven Lake Tech 9.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what,
and
there
Britain.
is at least 2 Europeans. Or 3 if you count Coach as well.
Yep. All right, back to it. Hip hop. Flay with a Desert Eagle. Everybody else feeling okay as far as their money is concerned, but not like crazy stacked on utility. Here's one of those old boosts again. I love rediscovering these. I love seeing people use them without delay, without hesitation. The gimmicks are the forefront of the minds of these guys in order to get the leg up and get the round in. And when you have very little, these are the kinds of things you need to rely on. And goodbye, Flay. Good one into Khan, though. First innocent if he can get the gun for someone else to use.
A lot of CTs all gathered up towards this connector area. Innocent is the one to fall back towards the A-bomb site. Kisarek also playing near the bathrooms, close on that outside long angle, as M80 creep their way up through the playground. And Kisarek falls back just in time to not have to worry about this aggression taking his life. The CTs can just play passive and wait for M80 to try to push into them.
If he shows all too much of himself, Innocent, on any rediscovery of what's happening towards long, Slacks' op could be posted in train, and that's a problem. He's jump spotting it. That's the best and most efficient way in order to ensure your life, as well as a smoke from Kisarek that he can lob out once he does see them coming.
Ooh, is there a potential boost coming out for M80? No, I got excited for a second.
No, I don't really see a reason at this stage. Kind of need them to go in all together to some extent, and a smoke will be put into their faces. The flashes are going to have to be perfect, but Innocent will turn back after the fact. Another one over. Doesn't react in time to it, and that's 2 players decimated. The sight lines held by a singular from us. Not going to happen today, but a clutch certainly not undoable, as KOLESIE has not made himself a useless asset in finding a kill of his own before this has transpired. They know where he's at.
KOLESIE has had so many impactful moments. This might just be one more sinner, and he falls. Slacks shoulder peeking it, but the op is a perfect shot into the bathrooms. M80 tie it up early on, and the energy is still alive in this building.
Flashbacks to Slacks getting naded, or rather pulling a nade on Train, and then just getting shot as he tried to do it. He says, well, anything you can do, I can do just about as good. And then he does it. 2-2. Thanks to that. Could have been a little bit worse off if Innocent was just a little less blind.
Yes.
Really in a good spot to where it looked like he was actually reading it well and tucking into the dice, trying to cover his eyes, but here comes the save up to where M80 are going to be very happy with the fact that they can kind of just do a little bit of a shooting gallery, get the blood flowing. Swisher does exactly that. The first to frag again. This time, though, he won't be instantly traded.
No, and I gotta say that I know it's early on in this map, but I do love how M80 feels that they're matching the confidence that the Polish side is pushing out right now. They did fall. You know, oh my goodness, a good headshot. Trade back right away. Lake still always good for at least one in the round so far. Now M80, they know that it is a save or at least an eco, so mostly pistols to deal with. You just want to group up. You got to stay together. You don't want to give these pistols any more kills than they need to be given.
Walking out together. Trying to see if anybody's stuck by. If anybody is left to their own in hold, but nothing as far as that's concerned. This is going to be a freebie. They're going to walk into that B-bomb site. Nobody is going to be home. They're going to get a little bit of cash. Maybe at the ends of the round, they'll meet a couple of bodies towards connector. But other than that,
well, close is nearby.
Nothing crazy. I mean, they're all kind of close, but
smoke blocks them out.
Yeah, and then off down from the back lines held by Slacks, who's got a little bit of an inkling that something fishy may be going on. Again, self-boost onto this has been removed. His teammate will do it for him. Actually, maybe if he goes up on his own, he'll get one not too hard. Spammed preemptively is the lower side of Hex, but instills just enough fear into Sobal to where he starts shooting at him and not really able to triangulate it.
Yeah, KOLESIE doing some good damage. Does get the op out of Slacks' hands, and if he could somehow prevent the T's from picking that back up, that would be huge. I don't think there's much of a possibility of that, however, as he's about to swing straight into Swisher. Op should have been recollected there. In fact, was by Lake. A good attempt of a round from KOLESIE. I like the way that they're playing the eco rounds that I've seen so far from them. Obviously, it only works if you're able to get a little bit of magic on your side as well with the pistols.
This would be a really pretty buy, though, because of it.
Yeah.
Very good indeed. Polish off the old sniper for Flay. We've seen him be doing it all day. The Deagle looked pretty nice in the last, and he hasn't been given very many opportunities to get active, but maybe this time could be a little bit different. He had a slight mishap on that A site. He had been seen posted up trying to help his long teammate get back. This time, hopefully not falling into that same pit, as he's instead going to look a little bit closer up towards the front side of short A, to where there are very many M80 players on the other end.
Yeah, but to CT's credit, many players for them as well. Op shot misses.
Oh, man.
Good nade. Drops Flay about 30 points of health lower. And the bathroom control for M80, they're allowed to kind of spread their wings a little bit, venture out towards long, where Flay is holding it very passively back towards the site.
And this is kind of what was looking a little bit ugly on Dust 2 for a while for M80, was when they started to stall. When they know that they want a certain place of the map and they just sit there and bait out with some shots. It doesn't really get KOLESIE all that worried, but even still getting the kills and firing off fights, that's going to be the #1 way to win a round. So it doesn't really matter if they stall out, so long as that when they activate at the end line, they can just kill everybody in their path, and they absolutely flatten them. Flay, this time, nothing, and that AWP is actually starting to look the most deflated. Speaking of deflated, what the heck is going on with that balloon? What is in that? What is inside of that balloon? Can we go in there? What's in
I
there?
wish I could tell you.
A bucket.
A bucket!
That's where they hit all
Oh
the
my
buckets.
goodness, it's me. I'm taking that. We take those.
Wait a minute. This isn't my overpass. Is this valve regulation?
Well, M80, you know, you were talking about how they could stall out in the mid-round sometimes. Hex falling as he tries to go for an exit, but
I guess KOLESIE kind of did the same.
yeah. And I was going to say that at least the gunfights were won for them when they went for the hit. Lake has been looking great when they're trying to actually hit out on the bomb site. He's aggressive. He's jumping around the corner. He's just shooting you in your head before you even know that they're out.
Yeah, he's like a weird version of a soldier. He's like that kind of guy who can be like hyper aggressive when need be to make things like that happen, but at the same time he's kind of happy to and be a little bit more chaotic in the mix. And given his history in a couple of different roles, whether it be a little bit more passive or aggressive, his balance and hybrid is really important to this team in particular, and it also allows them to be versatile with their other players like Swisher, who's also pretty particular in what he does best. And actually, even then, it opens up maybe a little bit for Hex, who's also has had a history of trying to be a little bit more aggressive for the sake of his team.
Yes.
You know, so there's a lot going on here as far as like players who are willing to do a job. But there's a little bit more to it than that, considering that the players who are willing to do the job did it or do it well. Another one. Drink one? Drink number two?
I'm a big fan of drink number 2.
No, it's drink number 2? It has a question mark on it.
Oh, not a good buy once again for the CTs, except for those rifles that were saved into this round. Just a few deagles otherwise. M80 do have control of this game so far. There might be a bit of an altercation early in construction. Hex already finding an opening kill there. M80 won't aggress off of it, though. Instead, bomb falls back, tries to meet up with the players outside of A. But once again, I mean, they just want to try to maintain the control towards bathroom. The CTs are a bit more aggressive this time around than they have been. A potential for an op fight towards long.
I think he spotted him. Now he's turning about. Maybe he'll swing with KOLESIE, who's got the weapon, but him having the flashbang is a little bit unfortunate because his teammate might have been able to allow him to do a little bit more if it were he who held it. Flay still nearby. Goes uncleared. Rapid spam. Gun on the ground. Up the Deeg, and this is an AWP that could be put through. And another headshot. No ammo left in the gun, but his teammate is home. Welcome to the round in the map, Flay. You get your up thanks to that. Waiting for you to come online, but it's worth the wait if it means KOLESIE catch a third out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, this is impossible for Hex to even try to do. He's running up through bathroom to try to take the gunfights, but he doesn't have time to get all these kills or get the bomb and get to the site.
Give him a fourth. Why not? I think he's tucked just behind this rock, peeking back and forth and leaving it all to the hands of Sobol. The two of them unite, and what an amazing affair. He goes uncleared, and one minor mistake turns into one massive round.
You can never count Flay out of the round no matter what weapon he has in hand. Beautiful shots from him. Even getting a little tap from his teammate. Def has a lot to say right now. Standing up for the first time the entire tournament through this map. Yeah, I heard you guys say that on Ancient.
Absolutely.
Once he stands up, it's serious business.
I was going to say, I mean, at some point, dude, sitting down feels like he's getting a little bit anxious, and he's got to get a little bit moving, you know? Got to
But trust me, I
kick out the
understand.
nerves and Flay. It's got to feel really good. I mean, he's kind of been getting a little bit bullied this map in particular. He hasn't really had the greatest of times, but now he's brought himself this sniper rifle thanks to his own heroism.
And definitely a potential MVP.
Oh, you
if
can walk around
KOLESIE are
that
to win
CT
it.
incendiary. You can walk around it. I love this game.
But it spreads faster.
If you tell me it spreads faster. Flay should have given the T Molotov to his teammate, and it may come back to bite them in a future round, but this one, it's the B site they want to walk towards, and Slacks is taking pace all the way up through short, and they were not ready at all.
You know, Hex is there to keep a little bit of a foothold as the T's once again rearrange the way they're playing this map.
Did somebody make a move?
Not quite yet. Yuzu being thrown over once again towards bathroom. Overpass is such a good map for fun utility. You can throw basically anywhere from anywhere.
Made to the Condor to make it just that little bit easier to see what's going on the other side. Easier way to get information without having to use too much of your bodies. Op and rifle looked like they were soon to clash, but a pop flash. Inwards will go Sin instead. Dodged, but can't turn back in time in order to get the kill.
Yeah, and it's perfect. M80 once again pull back, but only 30 seconds left on the clock, so an attack has to come here soon. Monster smoked off for the time being. M80 focus towards construction. It is only one CT on the bomb site for now. That is Innocent. 20 seconds left. M80 has to push. Sin! He kills Hext. A potential to be an absolute blunder as Innocent gets flashed off. He needs to get cleared. Falls back towards Monster in the smoke. Swisher's not able to spray for him. The bomb needs to get planted. The kill comes through. And with just enough time, Slacks does punch those digits. 2 CTs remain. And a bunch of low health Ts.
If Flay had a little bit better of a lineup, he may have been able to stop the bomb before it was even planted, but the low HP makes it easier for the faster fire rate of the A1S. Gisarek now walking it in and holding the line is Flay. He's trying to enable him in order to get closer and needing to do so when there's one on the other side of this wood wall. Swisher's going to be the last of his concerns. In comes Lake. His teammate peeks on him. The contact is hard, but the rifle still swings back, and the lower HP of the two of them and Swisher will still be able to finish the job. Bob and Weed peek in and out. Lake doesn't have to do a damn thing.
So many impactful kills from Swisher through this grand finals. It's great to see Swisher finally have his chance to shine right now. Beautiful scenes out from him. I believe the longest tenure. What happened?
Literally what? He's like, I'm going to throw the smoke. He's like, no, I'm throwing the fucking smoke. I told you the strat before fucking freeze time, Ronnie. Buy a smoke.
Oh, Rory's not happy.
I don't have a smoke.
Def is not happy.
Do you remember that clip?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess it's all good.
It is all good. And the round is about to make its way close to on a little bit of a weaker weaponry alongside Hext, who has the MAC-10 out.
Gets shot in the head and then also thrown a MAC-10? What is this?
The new guy, man. It's a little bit of hazing. Yeah.
All right, okay, I see. Well, if he wins out on his second straight and consecutive Fragadelphia finals, then I guess he'll take that. But still a ways away from that. Overpass is only the first of 2 required steps with Mirage as the finish if they can. This T side already looking pretty good. Another buy-in. About equal, I would say, actually, are the 2 right now. If you stack them against each other, it's pretty symmetrical.
M80 once again doing this just kind of slow, grueling take towards the bathrooms.
Only 1 player, okay, 2 players here, pardon.
And the op is one of them. Molotovs block the Ts from pushing out for the time being. Innocent dancing around the dice. Hex now on the site, MAC-10, perfect, get that entry kill. Innocent trades back, another CT in. The trades go in favor of M80. Flay and Sobel both making their way up through the staircases on top of the dumpster. No one quite spots Sobel yet, but Sin swings from the dice, collects the kill. Flay's the only one left, and he's done beautiful things with this op, but a 1v3 might be a little bit too much to ask, especially considering the positionings of these Ts. Shot won't come out. And a little bit of damage done to him. Slack swings at the perfect time. M80 find their 6th.
Dude, Flay's barely even able to play the game after that 3K, before and afterwards. He's just been either circumnavigated or caught with a silly moment in where he doesn't have a whole lot of time to react with how close they are to him. And look at the entry pathing from the first SMG of Hext. I mean, that was beautiful. Even hitting the 180-degree flick, isn't able to fire off enough shots in time, but the reactions are there. The pressure is on.
I mean, he still needs to be respected, though. Like, you can't
It's
take
Switcher's
away
turn now. They're cycling.
anything from this entire tournament from Flay.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, you're right. From the entire tournament, Swisher, too, to that point. Smart guy over here.
Yeah. It's an old classic. The lower steps, Molly is easy as peasy. Top one that comes afterwards flushes anybody trying to get cute.
KOLESIE might have to get cute considering the situation that they're in. The half potentially could be ran away with by M80. As this round, not much hope. Util blocks out any sort of sight line the CTs might have outside of the bathrooms. And Swisher this time with the MAC-10. His position has been heard. Not aware of the CTs nearby. Nice op shot from Slacks to find the first of the round. Flay, you mentioned he just can't really get away with anything this map, but he continues that way.
Swisher still very much so hot on the trigger, ready to pull it. If there's any KOLESIE players on the other side, they pull all the way off. No longer amidst the toilets, but they will re-engage. A pincer maneuver. A close play that actually could be huge. This could be everything, I would even go as far as to say. They're not looking entirely. There's one player still yet to show themselves, and eventually the 5-7 swinging, all of them pop onwards to get guns, upgrades, bomb. It will be out, and they got to go get it with 20 seconds left. This one's falling flat on its face. They've tripped, and they might even need to go for what would be a save. The off of Slacks can't go shotgun.
I mean, you know this is impossible. And although they have money, I mean, there's no point in just throwing these guns away. So they have to fall back. They have to retreat. They have to concede the round once more to KOLESIE. And they're so good at just doing these little trick plays out of nowhere to catch M80 off guard. First time was out long. Well, it was also just Flay being a bit brilliant with the deagle. This time through connector, and another timeout has to be called by M80.
Standing.
Menacingly.
Sitting there and getting sure that the game plan is laid out for the rest, because that's one of those rounds that we haven't seen M80 flop all too many a time, but 2 times in this map in particular is too many. They're getting a little bit of that same punishment that was pushed down onto KOLESIE on train, thrown right back in their face. And 3 players, man, one of them was turned, but just too deep in that corner to watch them on their walk across, and they stagger the swings, and that's what really makes the difference. One up through Khan, the second, and then comes the 2 on the deep ends of bathroom.
Aggression towards the fountain from the CTs. This is something they haven't done yet.
2 SMGs is a little bit weird and wacky. Innocent and Sobel are going to have a hard time if they get met with an AK at a distance, and Hext, he draws exactly that. First blood, 20 seconds gone. Doesn't get much better. And like he could be the only player that has to stop this flank from coming through their own spawn, and there was a split second where he turned back, and that could have been over with.
Yeah, so M80, once again, they have this player advantage, but they can't let it slip away once again. I feel like almost every single round that M80 has lost, they've actually started the round with the player advantage, so they just need to hold steadfast. Flay cannot get an op shot off. Swisher's there for the headshot. Only 2 CTs remain close to Sobel. Both stacked up on this B bomb site, where Slacks' op is close to the angle, but not quite peaking. The bomb slowly wants to make its way up towards A.
They can go as fast as they want, and they don't know it.
Oh, better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
M80, all the pressure is on them, realistically. Sobel finds Hex. Only had 4 HP left to begin with.
He was just trying to sell something for them, and it worked.
It worked, and if I'm KOLESIE, I'm saving. I'm not even worried about trying to go for this. Sure, you have the kit, but look at the money. It's not good enough. I mean, actually,
For KOLESIE? They can buy next round.
yeah, so
Well, they have to buy next round, but they can
That's a
buy
good point.
next round.
but they are saving just to be safe. Sobel might look at the wrong place at the wrong time, but he spots the barrel. Sin goes down. Still M80 converting the round either way.
It's M80, you got to be careful with how many players they send hunting anymore, and then they'd be the ones who can't really buy. They get everything that they'll need, both teams, for the last of the half, it seems. Maybe a little bit of utility lagging from KOLESIE, but will a little be enough? They've had to overcome a lot in a couple of these rounds that they have won, but it's just been a little bit awkward that they haven't been able to make these gun rounds look as competitive as otherwise. Deagles are doing more than many a rifle have said and spoken. I like how M80 do pump the brakes in these instances.
Yes.
Turn around about face, ensure nobody's trying to do something sneaky, because that's been one of their largest and most glaring problems, I think, in rounds that they've lost in maps prior. So they can say that they've grown and learned from that.
Okay.
No more opening picks for you at short, Hext. Not this half.
Running in guns ablazing, not sure why, but the missed op shot from Flay at least lets the equalizer be found by Swisher. Slack's moving around. Depending on how wide he wants to swing with this, he might be able to catch Sobel off the time. He just worked in the latter's favor. Meanwhile, on the other side, Kisarek take Lakes out of the round.
Connector's looking like where they'd eventually like to get through. It was a chokehold that was held neck tight. KOLESIE with one more smoke on this B site to try and stall. I believe there's another player not so far off. I'm unsure of what he has, but what he has to do is to maybe get a kill once this has gone by them, because they're going to go right through it. They're going to disrespect it. Shadow advantage is there, but only for moments. Close to anchorage, needing to be away, held into the ground, and Slacks, he shoots into it. He shoots downwards, and right below his toes, KOLESIE stays healthy and stays alive to fight and live another day around either side of it. No one can deal with him. This is his site, no C4, and at the half, at least KOLESIE have a little bit more as far as leeway is concerned.
Beautifully dancing around the pillar there to try to close that round out, and he does, and it does leave KOLESIE in not the worst spot going into this next half. 7-5 in favor of M80. It's still anybody's map.
Yeah, oh man, that stinks. I mean, I was gonna say M80. Lake doesn't even obviously have the opportunity to clear that deep corner without getting off of the boost. I guess his fatal mistake is getting off of it right in front of that position as opposed to on the back ends. He just didn't want to give as much sound cues away before he had done so. Very fast indeed. Sprinting it up right into where Slacks is going to have to call this one over. But Khan is always an option. That's always a fast rotation, and it's always a ways away for the CTs to do the same. And inward they'll go. It's a A site. It's not a ruse. There's nothing about this one that's left to the imagination.
Yeah, KOLESIE not pumping the brakes at all. They still want to try to hit out onto this A bomb side. The bomb is dropped for the time being, picked up as the T's continue to try to push the USP. Can't find shots. Slacks loses his life. Now KOLESIE have a time to breathe. The bomb making its way towards connector. Both of the other players still hunting up by Dice. It is Swisher behind the truck to find two more. The only one left is Sobel. Once again, bomb on his back. He has plenty of time to work with. He can try to maneuver his way around and trick out the CTs.
Seems a little long-winded, but he didn't want to be heard from Khan.
Yeah. Realistically, I mean, better safe than sorry. It might take you a little bit longer. It might allow the CTs to rotate a little bit faster than they would have, but at least they won't hear you.
Sobel's getting his steps in now. They're not actually playing for the site itself. They're playing for a little bit more closer to a retake, but I think you should prioritize this bomb plant above a kill here. Sobel obviously doesn't want to get discovered and wants to see if anybody's caught lacking, but not quite. Hext at a distance, at an elevated angle. Easiest as it could have been. That round is inspiring as they get 8.
Definitely what M80 needed. They need to just keep this hot streak up. KOLESIE just completely trying to do an A rush. They did get a bit stun locked once they got towards the bottom of sight. A timeout for them.
Look at your coach's eyes when he's talking to you.
Sparrow, a very veteran player himself.
That's respect, baby.
He knows a thing or two about Counter-Strike.
He was an offer, a rifler, an IGL, like I said before. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, who in Poland hasn't done all those 3 things at the same time?
And you know, he was always a very good player for the tier that he was playing in. From what I remember, when I was younger watching, like the CSGO lounge.
Yeah, he had a lot. He had a couple of good stints there for sure when the role was made for it. But when he started to shift into the less favorable in order to bring up the upper guy, or bring up the younger guys rather, that's where obviously your stats are about to take the hit. I remember when he was just like pure opping, and that was where I was probably most impressed. But I digress. And return the focus back into KOLESIE and M80. With only a couple of pistols, measly pistols for KOLESIE. Surely this is a 9th as a shoe-in. You can see all 5 players from M80 in a horizontal line opposite of that with this X-ray to show you. But now they're starting to push their way up a little bit further beyond, and they got to be careful about how much they actually do want to do. The A site's been left pretty clean. Are you laughing because I said doo-doo?
No, I was looking at the bucket and
Thank
the
God.
balloon again.
Thought I was going to have to leave the cast.
I mean, we've seen these pistols multiple times go the way that we didn't expect at first. Hit out onto the A-bomb site is coming. Tech 9 has potential to do a lot of damage. The smokes completely segregate these two teams from each other. It is Lake to double up, fall back, and Swisher running and spraying a complete wipe out of the T. Slack's the only one to fall, but M80 convert the bonus round with little to no fret.
Nobody takes a Tech 9 to Lake like Lake takes a Tech 9 to them.
You tell them.
Slams them with the MP9 and ensures that they know it from now on.
Yeah.
Let them know. Very important second kill that the gun's actual recoil almost assists him in. Jumps up to head level.
And I definitely feel there is just more confidence in this M80 squad compared to what we saw, at least on Dust 2. This is a team that knows there's a chance to win this. A team that knows that they need to convert this map to even have a chance to do that.
Flash outward. Easy as pie is that one for Lake. Once again, making that MP9 sing a beautiful tune. Even further beyond that, the ranged M4A1S is never going to be attested all too many a time, but KOLESIE and Innocent have a few moments here to try and change my mind about that, but Sin will deal with them just as well, so it would seem. That's around as quick as can be.
Beautiful scenes and good energy from the crowd backing their hometown heroes. Believe this is the last time out for the Polish side as M80 hit double digits. Any last minute words of advice Sparrow can give to his boys so they can try
Smiling
to close out? I mean, you got to be feeling good. You can't let the emotions get bad, especially considering you're a map up in the series. Even if Overpass doesn't go their way, they could chalk it up to, hey, it's a new map. This isn't the best that we could show, and they know it. And realistically, I mean, you can't really argue with it. It is a completely new map.
No, yeah.
Been out for what?
Yeah, no, yeah.
6 days now?
7 years now? 8 years now?
You're one of those guys.
Yeah. JK, though. Just messing with you.
No.
Lake's gotten so much cash, but he doesn't have any reason to throw it as opposed to stack it for
It's
later
been so
usage.
good with the MP9.
Yeah, that'll do it. There's a Molotov ahead of him to where he can't get all too fancy with a fight. He doesn't want to step into that, but he steps into some gunfire in which he's going to say, all right, well, I tried. Gets bumped. Calls that there's numbers in towards short still, though. So that's useful. And he still gets to stay alive.
KOLESIE completely controlling that water area. Has now been dried up. Water. Come on.
Water.
Water. Is that better?
Water.
Moving their way up the connector. They seem to set their sights once more on A, where for the time being, Slacks is the only one there.
Somebody's got to rotate now.
Surely they have to know.
Slacks is going to get run up on by the time he even gets to drop his utility. He may be able to deny a default plant with a molly, but yeah, here he goes. Here's the run. Flash is good. Shots are a little bit loose, but even then, KOLESIE's not going to let that one escape himself for all too much longer. Sin knows the lineup, I think, for the molly, but no, he actually backs out, down and away. He's got 2 players running through T-spawn. Safe? Surely?
Might as well, I
Yeah,
guess.
3 players running through T-spawn. That's that. I mean, 5 to 10, they can they can afford to call stuff like that. But I mean, look at the money they've got. It's obviously not going to be infinite, but I feel like they may as well have tried their hand at it. But I mean, whatever.
I mean, Lake definitely going to go for some exit kills here. Try to trade that MP9 out. Maybe collect at least $50 for his team, too. That's always nice.
$50?
You know, you can get with that.
A lot.
That's like enough to feed 2 people at McDonald's.
You're waiting for me to say something.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let you sit with that, and the chat's going to be like, "Dude, does this guy know how much McDonald's even costs?"
Hey, listen.
Those 2 people, never mind.
No. Well, okay, it wouldn't be enough for 3. 3 would be over 50.
M80 timeout. Although they get that save, they've got another gun round up ahead of them, so good to really lay out all the options that you have available to you and how to recover. Because after buy, then things start to get a little bit curious once you getting crouched on at that double-digit mark where you're not at map point, not even 1 round away from map point. Still, comeback season could be in session.
This is the time where M80 just can't waver. They need to get straight back into it. They need to close this map out as soon as possible, in all honesty, to make sure mentally they could be as sound as possible for a potential 5th map. 2 T's crossing in through the playground. A beautiful spray onto Slacks. That forces Lake to fall back and cede the space towards the fountain. A spray. Decent damage. Sin is nearby, but the trades go in favor of KOLESIE. Hexton Swisher forced to try to do damage control now.
Might be another save. His teammate is so far removed. Dink. Hex might call that over now. Swisher's got to do something about this. Wants to go exploring towards Tons. They haven't fully committed to this site yet, Buckethead. I mean, they could just go back down. It's a matter of whether or not they come into a duel soon enough in either extremity. A re-smoke, a re-up to jump. That trash will no longer be that great of an issue for them unless it goes too deep. No, it's good.
Swisher's on the flank now. He's coming up through connector as the T's try to hit out onto the site. Hext is Molotov'd off.
Oh no, they've waited too long.
The plant's coming default. Swisher gets some damage done. The bomb is dropped. But it is just Swisher left. 2 low HP players to find. That's the first one. Oh my goodness!
Kidding me? KOLESIE taps him down through the wall?
What a shot!
Can't believe that that's how that one concludes. He would have had time to plant the bomb even if it hadn't hit, but that low HP kind of needed to do something crazy, and he didn't even probably anticipate that to have been the way that it unfolded. Nice spray in Kisarek. I didn't actually see that at the beginning of the round, but good God.
That was a beautiful spray down, and a beautiful clutch shot, I will say. Brought down to the 1-on-1. You would think that Swisher did everything he needed to. He had it won, but just taps through the corner of the wall. Still a buy for M80, but this is where the pressure starts to build a little bit.
Slacks in between the 2 players swinging long is going to be regretting that he couldn't catch the kill there early. Now they may run him through. Instead, they have him drop one of his own smokes, lose a lot of his own information, and then they double back towards B. Only 2 there, 1 just getting to heaven in a few moments' notice. I don't think they're going to rush this one, KOLESIE, but certainly taking their time instead to get everything in place, not leaving anybody to do anything all too crazy on any of the deeper positions that could have been at the A site with all that long control, with the bathroom smoke. And although M80 don't know anything, what they also don't know can't hurt them. What they do know will hurt them a little bit more. That there's players coming out Monster Tunnel, that they've gone 1 for 1, and that Swisher needs support.
Swisher's been so good so far, but he can't find any bullets to hit. Down only 20 HP as he falls into the pit. Moving around the fire, gets some damage off of Flay, finds the kill first. And a Sin falls, Slacks retreats.
No, not again.
At least Lake wins a good gunfight over towards Monster. Potential for him to find more. He actually is able to find 2. Slacks last alive. He doesn't have a kit on his body, but there is one in the sight.
Oh, did he? Did he see him? I thought he would have, but covered by the box now. I don't know if they were on the same page initially, Lake and Slacks. I think the kills that he was getting really just incited him to actually call back to potentially help out. Slacks looked like he was actually rotating outward up towards A. But if it was a rotation to heaven, it was just seconds too late, unfortunately, to be able to do anything as far as getting the kills he really needed.
Very nice past 2 rounds from KOLESIE. In terms of how they're moving around the map and trading off of each other. Honestly, is beautiful work. Swisher with a few opportunities to try to get a kill. At least one more would have been such an easier retake for his teammates, but as he falls, M80 don't even have a chance to really buy in this round. A scout onto Lake, saved up. P250s.
What are Slacks and Lake to do? This would take a lot of happenstances. There's so many players at this site, but none of them showing. Oh, Skin, that's Swisher on the jump spot. He's saying, well, they're here. They're around the bend. We might have gotten our wish. Molly won't actually take vision or space away from Slacks to play from, so if they go swinging too crazy into him, could be problems. Big problems, but the fact that there's nobody at all looking for anything else on this map, Donnie, bomb still towards T-spawn, holding for flanks of all things. This is actually a recipe for disaster for KOLESIE. The walk up for the pistol, and Slacks is waiting for somebody to swing from high or low onto him.
Oh my goodness.
Here comes the clear, and Slacks, he's not going to be able to do anything for them. There's one, sure, softened, made known. Slack, they can only assume. They're still going to commit to it nevertheless.
Smoke out towards heaven.
They stop.
Such anxiety-inducing pace by
Gosh.
KOLESIE right now. Even when their plan is figured out, they just go straight back to it. That's a missed molly. That could spell doom, Slacks.
Oh,
That's a good shot to open up. There is still a chance in this. He swings into monster, but shoots between the two players. Sin is nearby, but the pistol's going to have to do magic work. The scout can't. And Sin picks it up. A beautiful headshot to open up, but he still needs 2 more.
I saw the world. I saw the vision. Slacks, almost a collateral could have been. Not seeing either of them on the jump, or at least I didn't think. One along the wooden wall. So many times he's looking for info, and they're only pixels away from giving it to him, and he's missed his timing on every one of them to the point where the audio influences and inspires a peek. One by one, that's the way these rounds have to go, and KOLESIE don't seem like they're wavering in any of them. 10-5, I believe it was. Maybe more. I don't know. I think it was 10-5.
KOLESIE so headstrong to take on M80 the way they are, continue to fight. Now only 1 point being the difference between these two teams. When M80 hit double digits, we said that they can't stall out. We said that they needed to push forwards, and they haven't been able to yet.
Jump spot from Swisher. For the first time in a long time, they get information without having to sacrifice a lot of anything. You know what I mean? Last round, Swisher, I mean, he gets tagged up a little bit. His teammate gets shot through the wall a little bit. They know that numbers are there, so they give as much information as they gain. Now periodically changing who's jump spotting. That's going to be a little bit, perhaps discombobulating for KOLESIE. They love this site, man. They love to abuse it, and they might have just found the same timing again. They have to react. They have to go through short, and they know it. Blinded, tucked to the sandbags. If there's a molly, there's a dead man walking. There it is, but it's pulled as soon as the seconds to swing, and there's another in the midst of nowhere. In this graffiti, it's 2. Can't afford to burn, but a spam through the wood looks a little better. Knowing that there are many around this site, Swisher actually spams amidst the smoke. Exposes himself in what could have been a dangerous play, but 20-9. He has come alive.
Finally, penultimate map point being found for M80. It might have took a little bit. It might be a little bit closer than they wanted to, but M80 still proving that they are in the lead and they are capable of pushing forward and taking this map. Once again, M80, they did choose this map. They were confident enough to go towards the unknown, or maybe the only known of a few years ago. They still need 2 more rounds to close it out, however.
And that, if we're going to go by pattern and how many they've been able to find in comparison to that of KOLESIE on their T now, well, Let's just hope that that isn't the pattern. Let's hope that there's more to be seen from M80 consecutively to walk the line. This hop is posted with someone just on the insides of the bathroom who actually doesn't know what's going on just next to him. So much pressure has been befallen and bestowed to the caller and captain of Innocent to make sure that he's steering the ship in the right direction. Multiple times before, it's felt like it's been kind of one-dimensional in terms of the idea, but in execution, it's looked a lot better, and in timing, the same story. But given the fact that they're once again not putting anything over towards Shorter, towards Monster, this sees a much more dangerous threat if they lose bodies as early as this, and a rotation back down. Yeah, I think this is just a little flat. I think this is going to fall immediately to the pressure that Hex and Co. will hold.
M80 knows this is a possibility, though. They haven't over-rotated. The bomb site still being defended. Hex able to find one. That's it, though. Now Swisher needs to dance around this pillar. One headshot won't be good enough. He needs to find at least one more. The spray's almost there. Sin's there for the backup. M80 finally find themselves on map point with the potential to send us to Mirage.
The Fragadelphia 5 mapper. That's what they're pushing for right now, and they're pushing hard. Strength overwhelming. A once seemingly immovable object that was KOLESIE. On Dust 2. Towards the later stages, closing on Ancient.
And look at the buy on them.
Look at it. Talk to me about it.
2 pistols, Galils, not even AKs.
Rush
they lose
speed.
their chance. Hex has the chance to line up so many. 1 kill is good and damage onto another. But they're forced to push out. Hex continues to spray. A 3K already. He falls, and now Innocent and Sobel have to try to clean up. Sobel's the only one left. There's a Tech 9. He gets the first kill. That's close range. Lake falls. One of the heaviest hitters for the team, but matter not. M80 proving their weight in gold.
The map decided almost as early as 1:30. And Sobel, only one player, one man that stands between M80 and that 5th. One man that stands between M80 and proving that they've got a little bit more bark to their bite.
Surely a task too big.
He's gotten a gun. He's got 50 seconds. He's got one of the easier common angles to clear if he'd like to. There goes the jump off the wall, but the angle's too hard held. First it was Hex from that backside barrels. Sin, however, is ready to clean up. The crew have themselves going through even further beyond. Hooper anyway, Mirage on the way, and we're getting underway with the CT side. Having been opted to by M80, they win a map, they win a knife, all the momentum points in their direction, and so too does the hit, as KOLESIE are right on the other sides of these walls.
Very dangerous scenario here for M80. Early on this CT side, it's going to come down to a lot of this contact play. First shots go in, and these Glocks are going wide. Lake does eventually fall, and it is already that man advantage. CT's trying to push their way up in towards Con, and a little bit of a late and delayed rotate in. Kind of debating if this is really the hit. Good shots in there from none other than Big Swish.
There isn't a kit in play right now, so the CTs do have to try to get a move on. The smoke's perfectly separated the bomb site. The T's have powerful post plants. 3 of M80's players coming in through the connector. They're not finding any gunfights. Slacks gets dropped down low. Sobel a nice headshot to close that out. USP trades back, but it's still the player advantage for the T's. With time closing down, Sin low HP needs to fall back, and KOLESIE wins the first round.
Big from the guys, a technical timeout. And one, there he is. That on the last map of the game, you don't want to let go loose. That's holy crap, dude.
I hope he doesn't
Do you have
to like
lozenges?
talk to anybody tomorrow or in the next probably 3 days.
All I'm going to say is that earlier in these days, I saw that there were like 2 or 3 people in that row, and now I think they're up to like 6. So that's doubling their numbers. They got a little bit of an army building up right now.
Well, the crowd has definitely finally filled itself out.
Yeah.
It's been a long day, but when you get all the way to this point, you need to watch and see.
Where are you if
comes
not
out
here?
on top. I don't know.
Driving back home possibly with a long,
Some people,
arduous
yeah.
weekend.
Okay.
Say.
Losing and or winning the big L.
All right.
You can put the
tomorrow.
you can put the stream on.
Adulting tomorrow because it's
You
Monday.
can put the stream on and listen to the radio broadcast.
You're now
Oh, of
listening to
course.
Fragadelphia.
Smooth frags here over
2.0.
NACS. Donnie,
Not your grandmother's radio station.
what
We
was
play
that?
only the hardest rock. Radioactive. Sorry.
I know exactly what you're doing.
It's been a long day, everyone. Sorry.
Donnie,
Yeah, you know
Cue the ringtone noise again.
No.
Back
And I do
into
want to
it.
say, we have to shout you out because you have put in the work for this whole best of 5. Me and Anthony have been switching off, so
Well, listen, we do it for the love of the game, ladies and gentlemen. We do
Donnie's
it for the love
been
of the
saying
game.
that all week about Tinder.
That's what we like. For the love of the game of Tinder too, I guess. That's what we're doing now. We got a Desert Eagle for Sin, in which he's just going to try and scare off anybody on a fast-paced play, but with those SMGs, they're going to be taking a singular SMG, taking it a little bit slower than that. A nice attempt at a window peek. Hold on now, Innocent. Oh,
Whoa.
okay. Get up in their faces. Tagged in the butt. Yow! He gets out, though.
Looney Tunes type yelp. Either way, it is going to be this bomb being planted. And there it is. It's the umps again coming out here. And second round umps has been the go-to for this squad of M80, but it might just be a little bit too much to ask. And I wouldn't even be opposed to them saving at this point either. It is kind of a do or die scenario early on here. It is going to be a long flank coming up and in through ramp, contact made. But there is that ump does put in some good work. Of course, Historak finds himself his as he always does.
Swisher's kind of stuck in a hard place. That's a good way to start it off. He can't collect either of the kill, but both teams brought down low. 3 of them, actually with basically no health at all. Slacks. Scout collects 1 more. Maybe 1 or 2 can go down with the bomb if Slacks can stay alive. The Scout shot misses, and 1 more does fall. So, KOLESIE only 2 surviving as they pick up their bonus round.
I wonder if the kill reward thing for the CTs counts if they died a bomb.
Yeah, I think
yes.
we found that out.
Okay.
And
I remember somebody
also-
disconnected from the server, and I think that's how he put it.
Oh, right,
together.
because the coaches were also in scrims and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just dying. Dying
Kind of
equals
fall
money.
damage or falling off the world also.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do TKs?
Oh, that's a good question, too. I would
Because then
assume.
it's subtracted money from your own team plus to opposing team.
Wow.
Well, flying up again, Innocent, not through window this time around. Very adjacent to it, though, is ladder room, and there's nobody home. Nobody even close to Cat. But eventually they're going to start to make their way over in that direction. It's Swisher, who's not exactly alone on this B-bomb site.
No, he's not, but unfortunately, well, that's now where the T's are. Bombs in ramp, 1 more on their tail, and then 2 in the palace. They're waiting it out. They're playing it respectfully. They're biding their time. Innocent should get the information of at least a decent chunk of these players sprayed down below the window. Innocent finds 1. That's all she wrote, however, as Slacks ends his life with a deagle shot.
This is certainly going to have to be a financial recuperation of a couple of bucks for these pistols, surely, not just looking to save them. In comes CT, in come those numbers, and in troves, M80. Going to be waiting like patient guys that they are. Hex has a smoke. I don't know if there's any sort of a wacky way they can get that to be used, but I'd rather just use the guns. Maybe at least cut off one of the angles if possible. Look through a ninja late? That'd be something wicked. I don't think that that's possible, but they're going to go for something of that nature regardless. The smoke is going to hit default. One of these players will be spammed through the top side of the smoke, and another, the knife is pulled. They're not sticking the bomb or anything like that, but still, everything's looking pretty nice regardless. 4 players will go down at the end of this one regardless. Slacks gets all these frags, and we had only seen a singular of them, but all right. That's pretty damn nice.
Well, that is an extra $200 added in at that point for everybody. A little extra, padding the stats a little bit. Nice little 4K, making the reinvestment there as well. So overall, it might have been a little bit of an eco, but I'd say it's kind of almost a win. But there is a severe lack of rounds right now for M80.
That's okay. I mean, it's really not that far gone.
Yeah,
they've been in this
3-0.
position before, and albeit at a 50-50 ratio, they've been able to come back and take the map from that point. So
We take those odds.
we'll flip that coin, and Swisher getting so very close over the top of the gap of the smoke. The Opera and Flay wanted to see if there was anybody doing anything cheeky at the bottom ends of mid, but it's higher than that, and where he'll eat a lot of HP, but Swisher, actually, excuse me, Slacks and Flay have the exact same number of HP after it.
A little bit of a miracle that somehow we're still completely even going into this mid round. Good control from M80 over in mid, but KOLESIE bides their time, stacks up towards apartments. It's a little bit of pressure on that underpass. Bomb now being collected, making its way over, getting traded out for a smoke grenade. Innocent thinking about what to do with that.
Just shuffling it back.
Juggling act.
Yeah. Looks like Slack's going to have to potentially juggle a few dead bodies here in front of him if they choose to walk forward. He's in a really good position to get one, but with that low HP, he's a big gamble that he doesn't instantly get traded, or if any utility even can take him out at this point. But here comes the flash, the utility over top. Slack's, again, all the weight to be put on his shoulders in 40 seconds. This execute's coming through. It's slowed down a little bit, waiting for those smokes to hit, and a little bit timing issue here now.
Oh, I don't like this. They're trying to split through mid as well, but Slacks unfortunately falls, and now Swisher has the chance to double up. 1 kill already found, a player close by, 2 collected. Does see KOLESIE with their plan stopped at least a little bit, but still plenty of time to get the bomb down. Low HP on 2 of them, but we're still in a 3-on-3.
Swisher's been so very good at coming up with those multi-kills when needed, and he's not slowed. Although he might be low on health, Flay will still eat a bullet to the chin, and leaving Hex on his hip. They're both going to try and make their way up, but the higher HP to the 2 and Sobal allows KOLESIE to play as he pleases off the back pillar. Yet to be seen, he's already gotten 2 kills, but make it a third. Swisher try as he might. His heroics will be slammed down, stuffed like pierogies. RM80.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah, okay.
No, very, very good from KOLESIE right now. Swisher, just still impact after impact, no matter if the round is won or lost. Oh, yeah, just beautiful shots. He does get caught out by Sobal, who's in that off angle, not really expecting the more aggressive stance and apps there to peek into Cat. And M80 forced once again onto what is not the most optimal of a buy.
Nope. It's all the way back into an ump, an M4, and some pistols. And Lake with that MP9, and it's going to be this mid-control coming out straight in towards Apps. They're going to run it through. Hex finds 2? From where and from whence did he come? The AKs and the MAC-10s eventually get the trades through on 3. Hex on 33 HP, make it 13 actually. Quick correction there, as the Deagle's going to start raining out some damage. MAC-10 does eventually find Hex. Okay.
Got excited there for a second. Slacks could have found more than one there, but wasn't quite able to. And it feels like, you know, these rounds are getting close for M80. They're not completely out of these fights. I mean, even the rounds where they just had the pistols, we saw Slacks get a 4K on a what wasn't really an attempt at a retake, but M80 doing well, just not doing enough to get numbers on the board.
It's always that little that's missing. It's that one piece, you know?
It's real.
Can't really do it. Walking out dry. Hold on now, though. They get closer into this one to where the op is more attentive, looking towards Khan. He doesn't know that they slipped beyond his lines of sight. He doesn't know anything because as he turns, his teammate gets bamboozled in through that smoke. Lake feels desperate and need to blow it. He could have been a dead man thanks to that, actually, but man advantage even though.
He's now controlling the site. Bomb is down, and Sobal somehow found himself out on B. CT's completely preoccupied. Chance for a backstab, or maybe Kisarek making the long, long charge towards the other side of the map.
Flay is the lurker now?
Oh, but look at Hext.
What is going on in this round? I don't really know if I like this from KOLESIE. I think they're actually going to probably meet at some point, Hext and Kisarek.
Well, it just matters if Hex looks for the back angle or the front angle. His angle does seem to be correct. The 50-50 proves true. The bomb is down. 40 seconds left. And only 2 Ts to try to somehow manage this.
Yeah, I mean, again, Flay having been the one left to go for that lurk, I feel like it would have just been better off if they were grouped. No chance does he not get away with that without trading. And then from that point forth, the round is effectively forfeit. Try and get a couple of kills perhaps, but really just inconsequential. There's their first. Guaranteed now, unless Sobal knows how to omen TP, and I wasn't made aware. Gets a kill. Something to work with at the very least. Maybe can get back to the op, but maybe not. M80 get it by quick and reactive decisions from Hext, and a little bit of a lapse in judgment perhaps from KOLESIE.
Very concerning round. Almost had the glimpse back from Ancient about that awkward mid-round positioning from M80. A lot of dedicated bodies to that site with not too much information, but thankfully Hexed, with that heads-up play, rotates back through underpass, takes the fight in towards that TV room, gets the kill, drops the bomb. Great positioning, and overall M80 with a hard fought first round.
No, I mean, honestly, great awareness from Hex to understand the timing of that player rotating
I thought he was
in
going to
through
look
the
away at the
apartments.
worst time.
Yes, and I was terrified, to be 100% honest with you, but he knew that he should have beat him towards that angle. Sure, there was a chance that the player that was lurking out on the B-bomb site would have backstabbed him, but he knew that Kisarek would eventually walk into his crosshair. Paid out huge.
I can hear that crowd better than I can hear you guys sometimes.
Yeah. Which is surprising, because we're in a separate room, you know?
He's got lungs, dude.
Yeah.
So do I.
You can go for it.
Well, I mean, I guess we all kind of...
You do too.
They don't really function that great.
I'm sorry.
The asthma will take me one day.
Yeah. I hope not. I hope not today. We kind of need you, to be honest. But needing a little bit more than just one. The CT side having fallen a little flat. North America's hope needing to go that little inch beyond. No clear. Sin Try walks into A main alone. Oh, that is, yeah, and he knows it. He knows it.
My guy is 0-7 right now. He has hit a hard wall. Hex has hit a hail of bullets, one would even say, as health slowly dwindling here for these M80 players. Slacks on 51. The situation early on with his bomb plant is looking dire.
And kill needs to be found soon. Swisher coming in through CT. Pre-fires an angle. No one's there to peek. On the other side, the shadow spotted. Unfortunately for him, both his teammates fall, so he's forced to fall back. Concede the round. KOLESIE finding 6 already. M80 having such a hard time trying to adjust into this map. You look at the scoreline right now. 0-7 on Sin. 2-6 on Lake. Sure, maybe the best opportunities haven't been there for them to find the kills, but some impact isn't needed.
And I feel like this is kind of, it really sucks to say. This is also kind of the reason why they lost Dust, it feels like. A lot of the players in which we need to show up aren't. They're also making missteps.
Ancient?
No, I mean Dust too.
Oh.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah?
Am I crazy?
I mean, honestly, I think you kind of
They were 2-1. KOLESIE were 2-1 up.
Yeah.
They lost Train.
I misheard what you said. That's on me.
Yeah. So on Dust 2, it was exactly some of the same things that we were seeing going wrong, where even one player making a slight misstep really just chalks up the round to, if nobody can get a multi-frag back almost instantly, it feels like it's done and dusted. And this is just some more of the same leaking in now.
Yeah. I mean, it's not sloppy. It just seems like they're almost being outplayed at times in the most simplistic of manners.
Yeah. It's not like they're making like blunders. It's just like a regular chess mistake, basically. You know what I mean? And then they take that and they run with it. Like,
yeah,
it's insane. And Flay was somebody who I think we were like seeing many a time abuse that. The last time we saw Mirage from this team of KOLESIE, though, it was Kisarek who was kicking ass.
Yes.
But not just yet has he been all too lights out, and needing now this center site player and Sin to swing off. It looked so close, but thankfully Sin is there to keep it even keel.
Hopefully the floodgates open for him. That's his first kill in the round, but somehow it's found itself devolved into a man disadvantage here for M80. Ooh. Utility goes raining down, and somehow Slacks has inched his way around literally all of it. But again, is this mid-round rotate we see, it's actually a fake. They fake the rotate back in, and they're going to try and pull him off, make him get a little antsy and play for the information in towards Palace. And they're going to walk right into his hands, or he's going to get one and fall back and make it a 2-on-2.
Slacks needs to hit the first shot. He does. He falls back, trying to molly the ramp, but the T's stay aggressive. Hex now has to try to rotate in through underpass. His position shouldn't be perfectly known, but the smoke still does block his sideline. He pushes forward through it. Sobel getting the bomb planted inside of the smoke. Hex, although spotting the first player, the op just too good to stop.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Slacks beating himself up a little bit after that, but think about this logically, right? 3 players alive. He spotted at least 2 of them towards that ramp. He knows that after he kills 1 player in Palace, that likely they could be out ramp on that same timer, right? They could have made that moment, and when he tries to pull the molly, he gets shot in the side. He's saying to himself, I mean, what was I supposed to do in that scenario? Just hold that angle and hope they weren't walking up on me and my teammate already? It's a hard call, and one that he makes and he'll have to sleep with. He's still performing and playing well enough, but it hasn't netted them more than 1 round.
I mean, no matter what, it's just a coin flip if you can find that success. The gamble was there, didn't pan out. Sadly, 6-round difference now is already off to a very explosive start here. And we're not sure if M80 can keep taking the brunt of this damage.
I mean, I feel like it's part of just the mental warfare that's going in. Lake at least finds the opening kill, and he falls back. Take that man advantage every day of the week. You need the little things to go right in the beginning of the round to try to even have a chance to find anything in the later half. Now getting boosted up, this M4 trying to stay useful. Too bad that the T's make their way back from mid and start to refocus towards a ramp that is stacked up right now.
It's so crazy to think that that play that I believe it was Innocent and Sobal make would have worked half a second, if not a full second sooner. Lake gifted what is a beautiful opening into which he makes the right call of getting out of the apartments after the fact, a drop of the smoke after they lose a teammate, but somewhere the op has actually made impact as well. Left on his own, Flay catches the walk around mid, and oh, so long does he have to spray onto the Deagle, but Sin recovers vision. Switcher's gotten triple kills before. We've seen him make mincemeat of these guys with a Deagle, with a 5-7, with anything you'll give him, but this time it may just be a little too much. Burns down to 27 wide, swung bomb to be planted, but Apex is where the Predator resides.
KOLESIE are just in the driver's seat. It is absolutely a disgusting execute onto site. Taking heads, taking the hearts of all NA players, and hopefully not, but it's looking like the dreams of NA go with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but you're definitely onto something there.
How much more can M80 realistically handle? I mean, sure, there is still the potential for this comeback to happen. An 8-4 half wouldn't be the worst thing you could possibly have in the world, but surely you have to be so drained at this point. You fought so hard for so long. And to try to mount a comeback, it might just not be in the cards, but we can't count them out yet as the T's do start to hit. Some decent damage is done. Hex at least able to find one. Swisher as well collects his kill of the round. Site given up by the CTs, but they will have the numbers in the rotation in.
These are the moments where Flay really has to have his impact. This is where he either shines or things go brittle. He's got this sniper rifle as well, and no, through the smoke. Innocent, how has he managed to do that? Swisher can't believe what's just happened to him. He barely even got the chance to get his foot off of the wall. In through the market, only one player is there, and he needs his teammates to snap back from the other ends of Cat. A walkthrough, read by Lake. A 1 versus 1, and one so intense that it's brought us to the Windows screen. But as we tap back in, it's Lake and Flay. The op hears him, knows he was here moments ago. The bomb's about halfway ticked, and in the middle of the site, he can't finish the kill. The pistol is pulled. It needs to be the head, but a no-scope instead. It's Flay to keep the dream for the Polish team alive.
The dream is more than alive at this point.
It's kicking.
It is flourishing, I would say, and it's gotten pretty bad with M80 taking this time out, and I'm not sure what can be changed, what can be reevaluated, what can be adjusted at this point in this half. Hell, even going into the second half, it's looking bleak.
I really don't know what Def could be saying to try to motivate the crew right now, but you have to expect someone with his knowledge knows what needs to be done, what needs to be said in a situation like this. I mean, having the player advantage, going in for the rotate, getting it down so close. Lake, if he just had a few more bullets in his magazine, he could have got that round 1, but Flay, I mean, this guy is a beast.
Well, Swisher goes for the high ground. No real contact made, smokes off. Gonna see maybe a late push in through underpass, but KOLESIE playing this one very slow. Very tactical. First 30 seconds, no information. No one's even seen anybody yet.
Look at this mid push, though, from M80. Oh, Innocent could have a wonderful timing alongside the Flay, who gets so close. The flashbang gets pulled. The first kill goes the way of M80. Innocent trading back out, and his kills go back and forth. A 3-on-3. Peek onto Cat.
I thought he was a dead man walking, sorry. I saw that player in underpass. He just got there in time to get that kill on the player who was closest to his right.
Well, the timing couldn't have been better, and there it is. Sin with the backstab, finding only his 3rd kill in the round. Now we're going to see Kisrak fall back, try and retrieve this bomb, and you're seeing M80 now start to slowly move in towards ramp. I'm assuming they spotted out bomb, but
yeah,
it's going to be a hard play back into this one.
Trying to take CT spawn. Flashbang enables Kisarek to just spot out what's happening here. Deepened in towards it is that one and holding that they maybe rotate through, but not quite. SMG, quick to the jump. Getting out of the way of the HE only ever so slightly. They want to go back in to try and find him. They need to regain space backwards in order to ensure that Sin won't be a problem later on. No damage inflicted. Sobel at spawn goes down, and now Kisarek's position a little bit opened, but they've got nothing to flush him. It's got to be the 2 versus 1 in which they use their bodies above all else. Can't quite get the first spray. Hex, the headshot from the AK-47, maybe all that it needs, but the gun doesn't jump. It's Hex who holds it down, a second at the very least into the last of the half. We're going to have to see if they can get that 3rd. They're going to desperately be hungering for it, but money will make for an odd investment from M80 even so.
It was a little down to the wire still. I mean, it's good to see that there are a little bit of smiles out on the players of M80's faces. Realistically, we can put it into terms of M80, they can split a 9-3 half, right? Get the pistol, actually convert on those bonus rounds, then you're looking at only a 3-round deficit. So there's a world where M80 can come back in this, and they should know that. They should have the mental vision to be able to push forward.
But M80 have been consistent with pistols. They've been good. It's the 2nd round.
Yes.
It's the 2nd round that is the biggest hurdle, and it could be the most crippling hurdle, because if they don't win that 2nd round, it's pretty much out of their hands at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
He's right.
Win 2 to win 13. That's
Whatever
what the Pit Viper said, I think.
the math be mathin'.
Yeah. Heard it here first, folks. 9 + 2 is 13.
This has a little bit of mid-round aggression written all over it for me, or maybe early from M80, because they don't have a whole hell of a lot for a mid-round in utility's sake and for a retake. So when they get active in that position, it slacks with the rifle, who does get their 1. And honest and truthfully, this could very well require someone to get antsy on KOLESIE, and they have through ramp. Not any longer, though. No way back. Only through death, and death will do its part.
Well, death do us part, because it seems like they're parting their way up through mid. No pardons given, just brute force back into sight. They're going to force themselves into the last 2 remaining CT players here. Hex going to have to put up the biggest front. That could get a kill if it goes deep, but it doesn't. Fall short. Does land pretty decently there on Flay.
Swisher needs to make impact here with this push from jungle. The flash goes over. Swisher will activate. So close. He is able to win the first fight, but his teammate falls in CT. Now, KOLESIE so low. Flay,
no.
Op only needs 1 bullet to kill. There's not a lot of time, but 1 kill is found, and there is no kit on Swish for the time being. He needs to wait for the peek from KOLESIE.
That's so stoic.
He's not budging. A kit is found. He's making noise. KOLESIE gets closer. He's not peeking still. Swisher running out of time, not able to convert the kill, and it is a 10th round.
Wow.
Over to KOLESIE.
That's the kind of play you can afford to make when you're 9-2 up.
Balls
that
of steel.
is absolutely perfect from KOLESIE.
Yeah, I mean, he jump checked after like 12 seconds, and that was about it.
Yep. I mean, after a certain point, it doesn't say bomb has been defused. You don't think they're sitting the full 10, no smoke, no teammate.
Yeah.
So I think he actually made a pretty wise beyond his years call. The newest guy on the team as far as its core is concerned, as far as I'm aware. Could be wrong, but either way, one of the newer. And that's what you need to find a title on LAN. Get that crowd rowdy. One more shot and one more chance to give them what they need, and what they need is you. And what they need is for this site to be as empty as it seems. Only one on jump spot. Sobal will be playing defensively. He has the kit in stark contrast to what very many a time as a jump spot kit play at A. It's not something you see every day.
Well, the T's are still taking it slow. I mean, Bomb is making its way closer to the apartments. There is secondary CT close in market, and then one on Cat as well. KOLESIE might have read this perfect. The T's are starting to run out. The Bomb's not coming with them, though. 2 out to the van. Do get one good kill. And they're trying to buy time. Perfect headshot from Innocent. Swisher runs out of bullets and gets pushed from behind. Somehow this hasn't worked out, but with all the CTs rotated over, the T's shift their focus towards the A bomb site, where Sin should be able to get the plant, albeit with only one teammate left.
Slacks wanted to be the defender. He wanted to be the guy to hold them off from the catwalk. Explosive jump through stairwell. Thank you very much, says Sin. All 3, and none of them get the chance to turn. When their heads aren't facing Sin, he'll absolutely deliver.
Well, it seems like Sin is sending the Polish boys up the river Styx.
Sin City, bitch.
What he said. Don't know where the correlation is, but it doesn't matter.
You don't know Sin City?
Yeah, I was quoting River Styx, but
Yeah,
you're
I know.
good. Yeah.
I thought we were doing like a whole reference game.
I mean, we could. Donnie, what's yours? Quick, Sin
Go, go,
reference.
go, go, go.
Go, go.
Pretty greedy getting 3 kills there, yeah?
Buzzing.
That was good. All right.
I've actually been sitting on that one for a while. I just didn't think it was good enough.
I was like, man, that was actually pretty quick out of Donnie. He didn't even panic.
You could do like so many with those now that I think about it. There's 7 of them. There's 7 deadly sins. I'll let you know.
Gluttony if someone eats too much. Either way, look, the
Me.
CTs don't have a lot of guns, and on the T side, we should be able to combat this. A lot of focus out towards B once more. One drops down to the side. A headshot collected, 4 hexed. Sobel playing in the smoke. The 5-7 close to a player. Starts spraying. Somehow Swisher's able to keep his teammate alive. And now with no CTs on the site, M80, albeit losing a lot of health, don't lose any of their lives. Get the plant down.
Rest in peace.
And KOLESIE, I mean, they're just hanging around towards T-spawn.
Comfortable.
Yeah, he looks like he's kind of like.
That's me when I'm sleeping and I'm just holding a pillow, probably drooling a little bit. Look kind of comfortable. I haven't slept like that all week.
That's me after this game, said the Pit Viper. He's become a part of our broadcast desk.
Oh, Mr. Pit Viper.
But he has to scream from the crowds.
Yeah, he has to like.
He's not loud back here. He'll be too loud.
He has to sacrifice a certain amount of life points in order to get his message across.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a chance that M80 players might come over here and at least find Kisarek. A chance for Kisarek to throw a little bit of money for his team. There was a bread jump scare there for a second.
Scared me.
I'm terrified.
No bread, please. No more. We're done with that. We're moving on. That's so frag 18 of you.
I'm not gonna lie, this is exactly what I did mention M80 would need to do. The piss around was converted. The energy is there, not only from M80 as a team, but from the crowd. They need to ride that wave of momentum. They need to realize that the impossible is possible. Anyone can still win this series. Only down 6 rounds. 6 rounds isn't that many.
It's not. It is one more than 5 though. I know that much.
True, but
Maybe
it's
not
one
for
round
long.
at a time.
Oh, shut
my
up,
goodness.
Donnie. We got this one. You're cursing the team. We lost Sin in the first 15 seconds because of you, man, and now we've got to try and find some way to recover. Any ideas, Olin?
No.
Got it. The smoke deepened into the apartments really makes things difficult in order to make a reactionary player snap into a site to exec. So back they'll go. Loop their way through lower tunnels and a replay. We really need that right now. We're already living in this hell. What is this loop?
Is this the price of our sins?
The infinite time loop.
Take it away, Donnie.
Oh, I'm allowed now.
You're back.
Yeah.
What's up?
Mid control taking 4 M80 is good. I mean, being down a player, having your IGL out of the round, it's not the best. The T's need to try to figure out how they want to stab into this side. The smoke goes down to prevent the player in market from making any contact, but it's still a stack here. 2 kills to start it off are good. Now the number advantage goes towards the T's until the MP9 is able to spray and collect Slacks. That's a nice kill. A scout nearby leaves only Hexed. MAC-10 in hand. 2 players close by, but a headshot to start it off is good. Now only the USP to deal with. Innocent, He's going to have to become pretty evil if he wants to try to rip this out from Hex's hands. He jumps around the corner. He misses the spray, but he gets it in the end, and M80 continue their streak.
He's definitely still not all too happy about how that one has happened. He's getting a little bit anxiety in his bones there, you can see, but I mean, it doesn't reflect in his gameplay. It only reflects in the breath of fresh air he takes after it's all said and done. Oh, man. Does that give them a big buy here, KOLESIE? I believe it does. This is going to be the biggest of tests for M80. Do they stick with the SMG? Did he get a better weapon off the ground? I believe he did, off the corpse of a teammate. Yeah. So here it comes, KOLESIE timeout. So for them, this is where they have to ensure that the game plan is stuck to, ensure that nobody's getting rattled by the fact that now they're starting to drop rounds and rounds and rounds. And that's kind of the same inverse that you have when committing to a comeback into staving one off. You need to be able to say while you're making the comeback that it's round by round, and when you're trying to close a game, it's the same. It's only 3.
And we've seen teams struggle to close out here day in and day out. Right now, KOLESIE maybe having a little bit of the taste of the real NA situations around here. Missing nades, giving up leads, can't maybe close out.
We've seen
maybe NA comes back.
We've seen a few comebacks this tournament so far.
Just a few.
But this is the real test. The guns are out for both of these teams now. The op battle is going to be there. Flay's been so strong. Maybe Slacks can try to quell that. Lake is out in top of mid. KOLESIE has not really put a lot of pressure there, at least at the beginning of this round. The smoke will fade in window soon. We'll have to see if anyone wants to try to contest that. But M80 playing it very, very slow to start off.
Nothing going on right now for KOLESIE in mid. This is a bit of a callback to what we were referring to. That was one of their biggest strengths, or at least one of their biggest tactics that they would utilize on the game against Blue Jays yesterday on Mirage, is letting them have all this room when they don't have utility to duel, because they're kind of ready for it. They kind of want it. Obviously doesn't make it any easier to play up against, but when you've done it so many times, you can at least get a good idea of what your team's going to be doing and what your role is, what your function is. And as they do eventually scale, 45, here's that nade to blow the smoke. Nobody seen on the other ends, and they've got 3 players here ready and waiting for the arrival, but a stack towards B in case things go haywire, and they've got to rotate M80. They're going to be in for a rude awakening. They've got to break through here first and foremost.
This is going to be a long take here, but it's 30 seconds on the clock, so time to speed up. Caught with utility in hand. Kisseract out, but so is Lake. The quick trades are there. The rotates even quicker. We have Flay holding the angle with the op scoped in from Khan. Hex finds 2, but Flay and Subel gonna have to set up for a save, and I was set up for a perfect call there, but sadly it does seem like KOLESIE are gonna have to fall back, save what they can, but they're already on the hunt.
Hex is getting monstrous now too.
Is this
M80 need to go for
gonna be
op
a
right now.
read?
M80 need to try to get this out of Flay's hand. They have enough money that they can justify just trying to hunt this. Hex is still thinking about it. KOLESIE is able to save this. They still can justify the buy. One falls, a close range. The op being taken out of the hands there is gigantic. Sure, the M4 is still alive, but if you want to justify that op, it has to be Glass Cannon now.
Hex and Swisher are looking like a dynamic duo right now, a package deal, and when Slacks is also holding lines as well as he is, it's again a little bit of what we were talking about on that map 1 on Train, when Lake isn't exactly popping off and you're giving him time to warm up and you're giving him room to start to show himself. There's only a matter of rounds, I feel like, before he's given a chance, and it's sink or swim, but we've seen him do it before, and this would be a better time than any. This is the resurgence they need. He's got players who are stepping into those shoes for the time being.
Well, thankfully for us, NA's hopes and dreams find some buoyancy as to not drown into this one, as they do start to swarm their way in towards mid, 3 in towards the top, and a 1-1 split towards ramp and apps.
Up train top mid, Lake still poking around towards the valley. They do slowly fall back, and now this is where it gets a little interesting. There is aggression towards A. Palace is slowly being taken. 2 of the CTs approaching on that position, making their way even closer and closer to T-spawn. A potential flank at ramp could be very disastrous. Someone needs to be looking. Thankfully, they are. Hex tries to spray, misses a little bit. Kisserek able to fall back with 6 points of health, but now the T's have to try to hit out soon.
Only to stop one of those players. They didn't know there were two. So that's going to be maybe a thing that catches them off, actually, if the first of them engages and then dies and allows the next in higher health and better weaponry to do something about this one. Flash to spawn. They were playing anti. One against the wall and one against the missiles. Explosive are the shots. Sobel for 3. And activation eventually through Palace comes close to reel it back in. 30 seconds. Someone needs to make a move from M80. They realize that the pressure is on. Slacks understanding that he needs to go for the swing to finish. The two that were dealing them all this trouble earlier. And Jake, what can you possibly offer with time dwindling? KOLESIE with the round 11. This is the round they kind of needed, M80. This is the one that, this is the window of opportunity that brought them within drawing distance of punching up.
Well, that window of opportunity now closing quickly as well.
He killed 2 players from under balcony, man. It's all thanks to that Sobel triple kill.
Yeah, compounding success here for KOLESIE, while M80 look to just try put a band-aid on a much bigger issue right now. Chances for getting themselves back into this are slimming down, while all of NA wait with bated breath. Minute 30 in the round. Plenty of time to still go.
And it kind of feels like you're trying to put a Band-Aid on an amputated leg right now.
Yeah.
In all honesty, it's
a hell of a way to put it.
It's hard to imagine a world where M80 continue to fight, but I mean, they are proving that they at least have a little bit of gas left in that tank. A longer presence in mid than what we usually see from M80 as pressure and apps also. Oh my goodness, what a flick shot. Immediately traded, so M80 still not in a worse spot, but after Sin falls as well, Kisserek at least is traded out 3-on-3. Everyone seems a bit dazed and confused as to what to do with the rest of this round.
If they are going to go B, they need to all be there at the same time. It's the ult from Slacks that was going to look towards Cap, but Lake has a chance to maybe open up a different possibility with that jump over top. Not seen, maybe heard. Will be cleared to some extent. And up through Con, unseen. A lot going on right now to where only a split second of difference for the decision-making of KOLESIE may have got them a frag. Swisher, he'll show himself and show face eventually, but the one who remains hidden is the player deep into the ramp. It's close to 19-9. This map has been his.
Surely they gotta suspect with the amount of time that has passed and exactly how much CTs they have spotted that someone's probably gonna be in either ramps or Palace. Does look like they are gonna be holding, but they're gonna play for the wide open. They nearly get lined up there. A little bit of a TK collateral there, but it's down to just Swisher now. He fakes it once, swings, can't get the kill, and KOLESIE hit 12, and they're in for match point.
Series point at that.
Series.
Grand final, frag 19, best of 5, trophy, MVP, the whole kit and caboodle. They're about to swindle it away.
Point.
Flying all the way over from Poland, realizing how important a tournament of this standard is. This is the way that you climb up through those VRS rankings. M80, one last chance to talk it out.
No bomb plan.
It is do or die. There's nothing else that can be done. You cannot make one more mistake, because if you make one more mistake, you're going home without the trophy. You're going home with hate in your heart because you came so close and couldn't cut it.
Yet so far.
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't. But actually it might, because second place you still get VRS points. But nobody wants second place.
Second place, first loser.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But it's a 6-round difference here. Are we confident in this bye to be the one to propel them forward?
Nope. No, let's stop that, because I've seen them do this before. I've seen them make these guns work. Lake has a Tech 9, and that's enough to make me believe. That's enough to give me the ounce of hope. The light at the end of the very long and far tunnel. A main is taken. Kisserek sees nothing. That might be misleading, however, because there are players on the other end ready and waiting to make this split possible. The fast-paced play in through, all hinging on this Con walk-up, and it might be good because there's no walkout the closer you get. The op misses, a rare one at that, and on the top of the balcony, they get theirs and stay alive. Kisserek, that's all their job is for the remainder of this round. Op in, it seems that it might be done. Sin and Slacks, the last remaining. The Germans, the ones of European blood trying to take down those just across the country. across the borders, but it seems that when crossing their borders into Canada, it's KOLESIE who have done it. They've managed to make it work. They've taken down the hometown crowd. And this is their title at Fragadelphia 19.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, your Fragadelphia 19 champions, KOLESIE!
Through Innocent. He's the only one that
outstanding performance from a very young and new squad here. It has been quite the performance from them. And honestly, a hard-fought battle, maybe an underdog at a lot of points as well. And just truly impressive squad.
Shmiro, woo! Yeah. Yeah, show it. Are you going for beers afterwards or
Beers
what?
and handshakes.
Is that what's the next move?
Just some dudes.
Just some dudes.
Literally.
Just some dudes popping out to a North American land, making a solid place in this series for them. So congratulations, and here's Big D.
All right, everybody. It started with 35 teams. It came down to 2. M80 versus KOLESIE, and a brawly best of 5 that went the distance. A final showdown that won't be soon forgotten. It was a long, arduous journey to get to the top of this mountain, and we are happy and honored to present to you your Frag 19 champions, KOLESIE! Let's talk to our champions here. Innocent, I believe you're the one to speak for the team here, yes?
Yeah, I guess so.
You guys just fought through 5 hard maps. You guys were favored underdogs in some of the matchups throughout this tournament. How are you feeling right now?
I think we all feel pretty incredible. This is what we came here for. Like it was the #1 goal, since even before planning to come here. We just came to win. Obviously, it was like main target was to grind VRS, but obviously to grind it the most, you win the whole tournament. And even though it was a little bit shaky in the first day and then in the second day as well, we actually pulled it through. And today we played fantastic, except of the train, which I think we threw a lot, and overpass we just our knowledge of overpass is just me and Sobol, and the rest never played it. So it was still somewhat decent. So I think it's fantastic. I think everyone played great. It's Cloud's first tournament internationally, and also I guess for everyone except me and Shpeva, this is the first international trophy, which is always nice. And I'm just proud because I really haven't felt any stress with the boys and just played to win, and it was pretty insane.
You guys looked very good this weekend. You guys should be very proud of yourselves. It looked like it got a little close there in map 5. Were you worried at all at any time?
I think if you do 10-2 on the first half, maybe sometimes it happens to be a little bit shaky, but I don't think anyone thought that, okay, let's not let it slip away. I think we just came into City to just close it.
Fantastic. Well, now that you're the big winners of Frag 19, you've collected your VRS points. I believe this moves you up 4 slots in the rankings. What's next for KOLESIE out there?
I think KOLESIE right there should be around top 30 in Europe. So if you are organization and want to have some KOLESIE, just hit us up.
Yes, hit them up. All right. Well, who do you think is deserving of this MVP? I know the answer to this, but who do you think the MVP of this grand finals was?
Well, usually it's not hard in our team. I think for starters, everyone played fantastic and everyone had their moments, but obviously it's Flay. It cannot be any different.
I believe you are correct. Yes, Flay is the MVP of grand finals. Congratulations, Flay.
Oh, is there some vodka in it?
No, that's actually a Canadian gift basket for you to take home. Now, can you do me a favor, Innocent? Can you ask Sway how he plans on getting that gift basket on the plane?
Yes. Alan, maybe you speak English for once.
Come on over. All right, Sway. MVP of the grand finals of your first international win. How are you feeling right now?
So I want to say first hi to everyone and thanks for that cheer for us in this final. I'm very grateful because it's my first MVP in like international tournament. We, as KOLESIE, we had our dubs. We just left our team Rebels and we just came here to maybe just farm some VRS points, and we knew that we can win this tournament, and I'm very thankful to my teammates and everyone that we could do this.
You guys look fantastic out there. I do have a question for you. With this beautiful local Canadian gift bag of a medley of Canadian assortments in here. We've got pasta, popcorn, and some other Canadian stuff in there too. How are you planning on getting that on the plane?
I have my dubs, I don't know, because I have like, my luggage is full, so I will try my best, but maybe we're just gonna eat this. Night is young, so you know.
I think that's fantastic. Yeah, maybe you snack on that, enjoy yourselves. What's next for you personally here, Sway?
Well, I'm gonna, me with my teammates, we are going to try to find a new home, and I think that we are going to stay together and try to win the next tournaments. We have a lot of VRS points now, and we're gonna get a lot of invites. So maybe you will see us next time. You know.
We definitely hope so. Well, don't want to keep you too long. I know you guys want to get back and celebrate. Thank you so much for coming out. We very much appreciate you making it all the way across the water to Canada to participate in this event. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for coming out.